Shit, boy, you nothing. I'm up dick cause I'm bossing. Here's Victoria's Secret. I'm the Emperor's cousin. Handicap, boy, you tweaking. Evil body done the tweaking. Boy, you foul, boy, you feeding. Day gone, I'm a demon. Is what my ears don't see the way I'm worshipped. And yet, Secret Service, I could never be more perfect. Is what my ears don't see the way I'm worshipped. And yet, Secret Service, I could never be. I'm heard, seen the way I'm goated. Top the world, but I won't rotate. You're a star, the fun, the field, and on the screen, but you ain't loaded. If I turned you into a wood man, I'd easily trans all you do. Yeah, this pussy dogging you. Yeah.
Purchase your tracks today.
Huh? Bitch. Fine by this beat. Granting your hogny arms red. Wait, value your meat. Feeling at home, but hamburgers rest away. You grinding down. So headless bitch, you are dumb. If you want some floppy, wait, get it from me. We think is what my verses don't see the way I'm worshipped. And yet, Secret Service, I could never be more perfect. We think is what my verses don't see the way I'm worshipped. And yet, Secret Service, I could never. We think is what my verses don't see the way I'm worshipped. And yet, Secret Service, I could never. We think is what my verses don't see the way I'm worshipped. And yet, Secret Service, I could never. We think is what my verses don't see the way I'm worshipped. And yet, Secret Service, I could never. We think is what my verses don't see the way I'm worshipped. And yet, Secret Service, I could never. We think is what my verses don't see the way I'm worshipped. And yet, Secret Service, I could never.
What is up? It's your boy, Harmful. I'm gonna watch that Mr. Beast video. The guy apparently made a scam GoFundMe afterwards. The guy who asked for like 1.4 mil. I was gonna watch that, but I kept getting distracted because you guys keep sending me stuff. Big eyeball news. I'm not like better, but I have a lot of hope. I finally got my eye drops. And putting them in, they feel way, way different to any other eye drops I've tried before. And I have two kinds. It's time for a medicine docs. I have a good feeling about this because my eyes feel different. I tested out looking at some stuff and I still start to get funny. But like my eyes feel way different. These don't hurt my eyes either. All the like commercial eye drops I got, I probably have like these fuckers, Theratears or whatever they are, they burn the hell out of my eyes. These, no burning. Clinitas multi 0.2% prescription eye drops. It seems like they're gonna work. I mean, they're not like an instant cure or anything, but I've got Xylin nighttime eye gel. And I've got some pills that I take at night as well. So we'll see. The ophthalmologist thinks basically it's fatigue. He thinks what's wrong is my ability to process vision is fucked by a combination of extreme chronic dry eyes and chronic headache. And he thinks that's basically worn my brain out, so that's why I struggle to look at stuff. And the idea is, if I use the eye drops throughout the day, and I use the ones at night, and I take the pills that help with the headache, that help me sleep and help with headache, over time that fatigue will abate, and I'll no longer have the eye problems. That's the theory. The idea is you take the strain off, you get rid of the fatigue, and the symptoms of the fatigue go away, because he thinks it's a symptom of that fatigue. We'll see. These eye drops do feel like they're in a different class to what I've used before. Like I can feel my eye, I feel it in my eyes. I couldn't with the other ones. Yeah. I had something in my mouth. Of course. No surprise. It's a sorbet hair. Usual. They knew I'd be too powerful with functioning eye hydration. The fucking guy was telling me If it kind of works, but it feels like the moisture doesn't last long enough, it feels like the eye drops don't last long enough, they can plug my tear ducts. Hello, Nicandros. They can plug my sorry, did I say ear ducts? Tear ducts. That seems really scary. They put like literal like plastic plugs into the hole permanently. Seems bad. Eyes working? Not yet, but it feels like the drops are doing something. I only just got the drops today. Why would they do that? 'Cause Neko, it's not just that tears come out of your tear ducts. When you use eye drops, sometimes they drain through your tear ducts, apparently. But when you do that, you rely 100% on eye drops, and that seems like a really bad idea. Unless you need to do that, that seems like a spooky idea. Like, imagine 1 week you can't get your hands on eye drops, and your eyes just turn into dry, crispy little bits of chalk. Bro. Nah, not a fan. Not a fan. Okay, I'm glad the browser isn't captured. I don't want a spoiler. A couple of different people sent me a clip I found really, really funny. Extremely funny. I'll show it to you in a minute. It's just a short one. Short highlight of a video. Oh. So, realistically, there's no way in hell I would ever end up talking to Nuxtaku. So I'll tell you what I thought was going to be really funny. I wanted to talk to him and be like, hey, wow, I just gotta say, you know, despite everything I've said about what you do and all that stuff, before we get into that, okay? I'm just kinda excited to be talking to a VTuber. You guys do art submissions, right? Can we do one now? And then just fucking throw this in the Discord chat. But at this point, I don't believe that will ever happen, so I'm happy to spoil it. I'm happy to spoil the bit I wanted to do. Oh. No, of course not, Hex. Why would he? It is better not to. True, face with glasses. True. Is it the clip of Tiger? It is the clip of Tiger. Yes. Can I show this? It's just art. It's not a real death threat. It's not a threat at all! It's a fucking joke, okay? That was a joke about lolicons. Alright? Anyway. Do you want to see another spoiler? I decided to edit my react to that Channel 4 clip. Hey, in the art, the rope is not connected to the rope in my hand, okay? I decided to edit the Channel 4 react, and I couldn't resist for the thumbnail. Oh, I thought it was a good. Oh, what's up, Doc? Yeah, you have AIDS. Ooh. All right. It's been 10 minutes, so I can start looking at stuff. And you can't complain. So, if you'll remember, people are upset at Nuxtaku for apparent some level of association with Shadman. Shad talked about this, confronted Mutahar about it. There was some weird fucking snakery about a cancelled episode or something, blah, 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 blah. It was brought to my attention he had some weird shit in videos, he had some weird fucking thumbnails. The stuff he was saying about Loli is like, you're saying that and you're happy to use it as bait to bring people into your channel. Ooh, and even if that was only in the past, you were talking to Shadman in the past, so surely you would have been fine having him on as bait for entertainment. And not, like, really rip into him, just using the same way you use the thumbnail. Blah, 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 blah. All that stuff has been instantly overshadowed by attention now being drawn again to Tiger. Tiger, the weirdo VTuber, who was accused of a bunch of stuff, some of which true, some of which seems to be false, some of which uncertain. Nut Taco called him a pedo. The Rev video, Rev says he called him a predator. The censored word to me sounds like pedophile. It sounds like it starts with pe, not pre. But hey, hard to tell. Perhaps Nux could share the original audio if he has it. If it matters. I don't think it matters too much. I decided, you know, I can't fault someone for if you see the kind of shit Tyga is into, I cannot fault the average person for being like, that's pedo stuff. You're a pedo. Like, yeah, that's a very natural reaction, I think, for people to have. I can't judge that. So, as far as that goes, not going to judge him on that. However, there's an amazing twist in this tale. There's a fucking incredible twist that I don't necessarily believe. But I laughed my fucking ass off when I watched this clip. Okay? So, one of my criticisms of the practice of including, sexual cartoons in thumbnails, especially sexual cartoons that involve IPs popular with kids. You get kids clicking on that. They go into the comment section. You have people talking about where to get the porn. You have people talking about getting more porn. It's similar to when you have kids in a Discord with adult content, except instead of it being a Discord with images in it, it's an image that draws you to the YouTube video, which effectively has a forum attached in the comment section. I don't think that's good. I think that's pretty bad. I wouldn't be comfortable with that going on under my shit. I'd feel weird about that personally. And the idea is, yeah, trying to expose kids is something pedos deliberately do as well. So, like, there's your evidence, like, you don't want to be fucking doing it. You're pretty fucking irresponsible if you do. And you can see under Nux's videos that is happening. There are kids who have YouTube channels that you can click on their channel and see it's fucking kids talking about the porn amongst people telling you where to get it. Right? So, you can think, yeah, some people get sucked into that stuff through this process. Who do you think is claiming they are an example of that? Tyga, the guy Nux called a pedo, is saying, you EPI'd me to Nux. Tyga is saying they got into that shit and doing that shit with their own thumbnails and all that stuff because of Nux. That they were on the pedo conveyor belt. Now, I don't know how old Tyga is now. I want to go ahead and say, I suspect Tyga's a little bit old for me to go, you poor thing, your mind was warped by this. But it's really funny, so I'm not going to challenge it. I'm just going to let it be out there. I believe abuse victims. Oh, okay. Here's the clip.
I will stay out of the debate on morality of drawings, where he...
Oh yeah, Nux did a react. Nux did a react to the exoneration document, which is insanely embarrassing. The private investigator's attempt to exonerate Tyga, horrendously bad. Really bad. It seems true that there is a lack of support to many claims against Tyga. There is some proof against some of the claims. However, that document did it in the worst way possible and undermines any ability to undermines any ostensible credibility you might have tried to gain through the claim of being a private investigator, right? It's clearly a persuasive piece of writing, which comes off as insanely slimy and fucked, you know? And for people to point to it as, this document is proof, it's a very emotional piece of persuasive writing to try and convince you that's the case. And the document itself even leaves things up in the air that are just like, hey, these could be fake, you can't prove they're real. You shouldn't necessarily believe they're real, but that's not a total disapproval of them being real, right? They try to, rather than arguing simply that it's not substantiated, they say, we know it's fake because these people are weirdos too. Not how it works. Anyway, back to the clip.
You know, commissioned lots of hentai, lolly, shoujo, whatever.
So using hentai in your thumbnails is okay. You're allowed to make money off of lolicons and push that to your child viewers.
Yeah, you can show all the kids. Stealing it and using it to attract children to your channel so that they can talk amongst the adults who jerk off to it and get recommendations for porn. That stuff's fine! Doing that is fine. The line is when you pay for it. I'll agree it's a kind of line. I'll agree there's a difference. There are two different actions. However, both are past my line personally. But let these guys fight. This rules.
£1. Play video games. I dropped boy.
One day. One day. I think the eye drops are going to help. We need the fatigue to get helped. And then it can get better. But, I'm loving this. Pedo Civil War on YouTube. Let's go. Sorry, not pedo. Lolicon Civil War. I feel like it's blown up through a different issue, and I can just watch now. And what I've done is I've gone, hey, here's a video full of some grenades. You can pick out if they help you. I hope I helped a little bit. But this shit, now I don't have to do anything. I just get to sit back and watch these fucking freaks tear each other to pieces. This is fucking god tier. This is so good. Alright, anyway, we should go back a second.
You're allowed to make money off of lolicons and push that to your child viewers. I was a kid who was normalized to that weird edgy shit, mainly in part due to fucking people like Nux using lolly in their thumbnail, you know, that whole culture. Like, they normalized that shit.
Nux did it. Nux thumbnail groomed me into being a freak and then called me a pedophile because of what he did to me. This is so good!
And normalize that to, you know, anyone watching your content. You're allowed to show it off, but commissioning it is where you draw the line? Really?
Oh, welcome to hell. Welcome to hell. I was talking to Chad about this. On the one hand, like, Nux has a little army that's like, I think you're a freak. You were a freak. You would have done stuff with Shadman. I think you're still a freak. And then there's the other army of lolicons who are like, apologize to the toddler piss fetishist. Apologize to the guy who jerks off to toddlers pissing themselves. Apologize for calling that person a pedo. Say all that stuff's fine. Well, he can't win. No matter what he does, one of these groups of people is going to want him, like, annihilated. Wow. Here's a trick. Just do what you think's right. And stick with what you believe, and you don't really run into these situations. It's pretty easy. It's pretty easy. If you think it's weird, and you think it's fucked to use material like that as bait, especially on a mixed audience platform with people of different ages, it's going to draw people in, going to draw kids in and adults in. You know there are going to be discussions of, like, where this porn is from. They're going to talk about stuff, mix them together. Like, it's like, ooh, keep that stuff on, like, a fucking adult platform or something type thing. But you're like, hey, ooh, but it's going to work as a strategy. Go with your heart, not your wallet. Just go with your heart. You'll be fine. Yeah. They let themselves get carried by the group circle jerk of lolicons. That's what I think, Fabre. Yeah. I think it's deal with the devil shit. Guess what? Devil takes your soul, dog. Devil takes your soul. Welcome to hell! This is hell! Okay. Now, The Ask the Mask segment was incredible. The one with the bug chaser, it blew my mind. I think it's amazing, amazing stuff. So I wanted to see what else they have available. We've got a classic. We've got a classic kind of person. Do you guys remember Nick? Was it Nick? Who's the hook-handed claw pedo? He wrote salon articles. He had a video interview. Todd Nickerson, not Nick. It's Todd Nickerson. Todd Nickerson is a pedophile who has a hook hand for snatching children. And he also writes a comic about children who have the superpower to consent. And as we know, because he has a comic about cartoon children, you can't be a pedophile and into that. Pedophile aren't into that. Okay. Anyway, he was one of these guys who's like, I care about children more than anything, and I'm aware of it because of my desires. He's one of those guys. He's one of those guys who goes, I'm a virtuous pedophile. Well, on Channel 4's Ask the Mask, we have the episode, I'm a pedophile, not a molester. Ask the Mask. Channel 4 documentaries. Virtue signaling pedophiles. Yes, many of them. I gotta say something about this, though. This Brad Welch guy who uploaded this, this woman has been done insanely dirty. She's the thumbnail. She's not the pedo. She's just the person who, like, asks the pedo questions. I would be fucking pissed if my face was used as the thumbnail for this. Like, I don't think she is anything. The virtuous pedophile thing is absolutely wild. It's in this, and, do you know about the series To Map Humanity? It might be... It's not gone. Okay. So there's a pedophile... Oh, he has a bunch of vlogs? He has a ton of pedo vlogs. Alright. Thank you very much, Shareds. Syphilis gift to Shareds. Thank you very much. So Todd Nickerson is the pedophile who made like a, I think it's a cartoon? What is it? You have to sign in to confirm your age. Okay. But Todd Nickerson is the pedo who wrote for Salon. They took his articles off. He's been interviewed on a bunch of places. He made his own series about why pedos are cool and alright. And, sorry, that's a spoiler. There's a spoiler! Channel 4 got one of these virtuous pedophiles, self-proclaimed virtuous pedophiles on to have a little chat. What is this thumbnail? That bug chaser thumbnail on the Channel 4 YouTube channel has the quote, slamming HIV plus blood. Anyway, okay. Let's watch. Let's learn about let's learn about this pedophile, non-offending pedophile.
I'm a paedophile, but that doesn't make me a molester. I'm a paedophile, but that doesn't make me a molester. I'm a virtuous paedophile.
Dude, the verped stuff just shows how insanely warped their minds are. So I've heard from psychologists that the spookiest thing about pedophiles is that or at least their read of it. Them speaking in a non-professional capacity, to me, they don't get that it's wrong. They don't feel that it's wrong. They don't have a disgust for it. And they have to pretend to feel more normal. And I think that's why they don't get how repulsive calling themselves virtuous is. They don't get that that's way too fucking far. He says it like he's doing a good for the community. Alioba, exactly. I think I think them choosing this branding, and this isn't just him saying that, it's a branding thing. The pedophiles, they get together and they do PR meetings. They have PR meetings and try to decide, like, what's the best way to present ourselves? That's how you end up with MAP. That's how you end up with virtuous pedophile. But because they're so detached and think so differently and have such different feelings, they don't get how repulsive calling themselves a virtuous pedophile is.
Have you ever abused a child?
No.
Do you still fantasize about it though?
Yes.
I find this crazy.
How young?
The youngest age I could possibly be attracted to would be probably about 7 in the past.
That's saying you could be attracted to 7-year-olds. That's fucking wild and obscene. But there's another layer, isn't it? What is that phrasing? The youngest age I could possibly be attracted to.
Past, I did do some volunteering with.
Okay. I think it's probably safe to say all these things because the person is anonymous and in a mask.
Attracted to would be probably about 7. In the past, I did do some volunteering with children.
You wanted to be around kids. Is that so you can perv on them?
No.
Yes, it fucking is. Okay. Right. You can't give a fucking inch because they will worm in. They'll say, well, I'm a virtuous pedophile. Oh, it's a curse. I feel so bad at it. Oh, I just really want to help the kids. There is something called, and I brought this up many times, it's called grooming of the environment. The idea is you try to make people intellectualize stuff. You make people feel more comfortable with them being around. More and more comfortable, pushing it little bit by little bit by little bit by little bit.
Imagine that you're firing off this salvo into the pedo.
Lamau. Just everyone fire off a salvo, please. Thank you very much. Just like little by little crumb by crumb. Oh, your instant disgust. Push that down. Tamp that down. Tamp that down. That's one of the reasons, actually. So you get the people saying with lolicon art and stuff, they say, ooh, when you call this pedo stuff, you blur things. I think it's reasonable for someone to react that way, even if there's an intellectual discussion to be had about what exactly it is, what exactly it means for someone to be attracted, whatever. I think it's bad to in any way there tamp down people's reaction. I think aiming to dull people's gut reaction there is actually bad. And if it is a problem that people call you a pedo or call that stuff pedophilic, you're never, ever, ever gonna squash people's gut reaction like that. So in that case, I would say, or at least, unless you're willing to say, all kids have to be taught about lolicon and how it's not pedophilia, we need to train everyone to not react that way. If you don't do that, you're never gonna get rid of that, and we're not fucking doing that. So...
Matthew Harder fed the streamer a $5 superberry.
Thank you.
I have a virtuous cross to nail these legends on.
Thank
It's
you.
virtuous.
Everyone fire off a salvo, please. Virtuous. Thank you, Legate Lanius. So, if the problem is calling lolicons pedos and calling loli material pedophilia or pedophilic, you're never going to get rid of that reaction for people. People will always react that way. If you really care and you think that's dangerous for that people are saying that, stop showing it to people. Stop putting it on fucking YouTube. Stop putting it anywhere an average person is going to see it. Because they will react and they'll call you a pedo and they'll call it pedo stuff. Even if there is some sort of intellectual discussion to be had. If what you care about is people saying that and you think that muddies the waters, if you care more about that and you think that's a risk for kids than you do about jerking off to kiddo cartoons, get your fucking kiddo cartoons out of my face, off of YouTube, off the internet. That's the only way you're going to stop the masses from reacting that way. Okay? There's the challenge. Anyway.
When you were there, you didn't fancy any of them?
Yes, I did, but it's not the same thing.
Not the same thing as what? Oh, it's the copy pasta. It's the copy pasta. He means not the same thing as touching them, I presume.
with children.
You wanted to be around kids. Is that so you can perv on them?
No.
So when you were there, you didn't fancy any of them?
Yes, I did, but
It's just a bonus.
it's not the same thing.
That is mad. I can't understand you. I'm sorry. That is crazy to me.
He said perving on them, and he's saying it's not the same thing as perving on them. But I get the vibe that that's a canned response. I don't think he's actually thinking about what's happening and what specifically has been said. Also, I swear to God, I'm going to lose my mind. I'm going to lose my mind if he brings out the usual pedo argument. Yeah, pedos working with kids. They're attracted to them. But when men work with women, men are attracted to the women and we don't expect them to rape them. Yeah, do you see a difference between women and children though? I wouldn't trust men working with women to never, for instance, ask them out. But guess what? Engaging with a child in that way, in any form, is instantly abuse already.
It's very difficult, and I'm scared. I'm scared that this is going to be a huge...
I'm scared. I'm scared one day, working in the nursery, my dick's gonna get so hard it explodes.
That is crazy to me.
It's very difficult, and I'm scared. I'm scared that this is going to be a huge, huge mistake.
Oh, being on the show? Unfortunately, probably not. Because of how well your identity is protected.
What is a virtuous paedophile?
A virtuous paedophile...
Holly got done insanely dirty by this uploader. Her face being the thumbnail is fucked. I would be so pissed.
is someone who has a sexual attraction to children, but who has decided that that shouldn't mean that they would abuse a child.
Do you class this?
This is alien life form phrasing. Has decided that that shouldn't mean that they would abuse a child. What is that fucking phrasing? Is this even real? Because I don't think anyone's calling themselves virtuous pedophiles. No, they are. It was an organization, in fact. You don't remember this? That was Virtuous. Verped was the last big, organized PR push for pedos. Actually, yeah. But the phrasing, that shouldn't mean that they would abuse the child. He has to be careful. Because, or rather, he doesn't have to be careful. He is being careful, and I'm saying he has to be careful like this because you have the urge to, don't you? You'd love it. If you did it, you'd love it though, wouldn't you? Right?
As a sexual orientation or like mental disorder?
I think it's a phenomenon that happens in brains.
Oh, okay. They do indeed paint them as victims. This is further cementing. There was a time where I would entertain this argument that they're like, oh, there are pedos who are really disgusted by it, you know, to them it's a curse. The problem is, it seems like, from being exposed to pedophiles, alongside their urge or their desire for children, they all seem so, they have a, how do I describe it? Reptilian, cold, calculated manner about them. I have never come across one that is not very clearly a manipulator, but a manipulator who also very clearly is detached from other people, so there are signs that like make you feel creeped out, like the way he says stuff. I'm not convinced the story, the hypothetical of the guy who, oh, it's like a curse to them, it's like a disease, they want to be rid of it. If that kind of person exists, we're talking like there are 2 guys in the world who are like that. And because of the pedophile's tendency to try and infiltrate things, to try and warp what's around them, to make people more accepting of it, to tamp down people's gut reaction of hatred and disgust. Sorry, the 1 or 2 pedophiles who genuinely are like, I'm cursed, I don't want this, you're gonna have to, like, get crushed alongside all the others. Sorry. Sorry, if you really think you're that cursed and think it's that bad, you'll accept it as a sacrifice. You can't give a fucking millimeter. Sorry, that's what I'm convinced by at this point.
I'm happy to accept the term disorder as much as I'm happy to accept the term sexual orientation, or...
I'll take it. Don't fucking... Right. Me, I'm a based individual. To me, even if it were found that, oh, rationally, logically, you could class it as a sexual orientation, my response to that would be, oh, therefore, actually, it's okay to discriminate based on sexual orientation because that includes pedophiles. Most people will be like, oh, born this way. Oh, we have to be more accepting because it's so clubbed into their brain that, like, sexual orientation protected. Sexual orientation protected. Slip them in under all the laws that already exist under that umbrella. Fucking no. 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 No.
I don't think you can call anything a sexual orientation when it can never be consensual. I have a child and...
That's fucking stupid. Right. Okay. Suddenly I understand the argument for responsible platforming. For responsible platforming. Their attraction is oriented towards children. Their sexual orientation is fucking rapey. It doesn't matter that they could never ethically, morally act upon it with the object of their desire.
I would in no way, shape or form would ever feel comfortable with you even looking at them.
Right.
So I think then you should have maybe therapy or something, someone to talk to.
I would be uncomfortable you even seeing my kid in public, so I think you need someone to talk to. What is this? What is this? Hey, Holly! To be fair, I could have paused Andy'd her. Hey, Holly, he's getting therapy now, so it's okay for him to work at your kid's daycare, right? Got therapy.
Try and actually see if this is something that can be rewired in your brain. Or
No, 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 no. 1, I don't believe that's going to be possible. 2, do not give them the ability to, like, go and have some sort of treatment and go, I've been cured, I'm not a pedo now, off the fucking blacklists, off the blacklists. Yeah, go check. Imagine this fucking person advocating and getting support. Hey, if you're caught, like, looking at child porn or something and you're labeled a pedo, you're put on the sex offender registry, you can go talk to a therapist and then become a verified not a pedo anymore. Nope. No. 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 No.
I think it could be changed.
I don't know. This is obviously why I'm here. I'm seeing this as something. I think then you should have maybe therapy or something, someone to talk to try and actually see if this is something that can be rewired in your brain.
So you think it could be changed?
I don't know. This is obviously...
Yeah, you're giving him, he's like, damn, imagine if I could go to a therapist, imagine if we could go to therapists after we've been caught.
See why I'm here? I'd hope so.
Have you ever abused a child?
No.
Have you ever wanted to?
Call me, Let me lay something out. I don't think I have the case for abuse based on what he already said, but I am the manager of a place where people can volunteer to work with kids. One applicant is openly a pedophile. I know they're a pedophile. I say, okay, you can volunteer and be around the kids. I've done something wrong, haven't I? I have, at the very least, endangered children. But on top of that, I think there's potentially an argument for abuse. Because I'm knowingly putting vulnerable children in a position where they are going to be in direct contact, and someone who is attracted to them and has a desire for them has authority over them. I've turned them into an object of weird sexual enjoyment by a predator. To me, that crosses the threshold into abuse. It's not physical abuse. It's not mental abuse. They may not even know. It's abuse of them by depriving them the consideration and protection they are entitled to as children. It's a kind of abuse. It's like when you deprive someone of a right like privacy. Endangering them. Horrible. We agree that's horrible, right? If I was someone in charge of like a volunteer program and I let that person in, he knows he's a pedophile. He knows he's attracted to children. He could have decided, I will not do this. I will not even apply to that position. He decided to pursue having himself in that position. I think he's done something wrong by those kids by placing himself there. In the same way that if someone else decided to allow him while knowing they'd done something wrong, he's done the same. Do you get what I'm saying? He can't argue he's done nothing wrong to children. He's placed himself amongst them as an authority figure. I think, given his paraphilia, that's wrong to do.
I suppose I've thought of the possibility.
But what is it about a child that you're attracted to?
Oh, I don't even want to, like, okay. That's a question I want to drop on, like, Tiger, but I don't actually really want to know. Like, I'd want to drop that question in a hypothetical where it might make someone stumble. I don't want to actually know.
That's really difficult to answer. You could name different things, different physical features. You can name different things about personality. I don't see that that's going to be different to a list that some like heterosexual guy would give you about, you know.
But they're adults.
No, I totally get
You're
that.
attracted to children. If you had it your way, you would have sex with a child.
It's true that my brain obviously is, you know, has an attraction, and
My brain has an attraction. No, you do. You do. At most, I'll give you, my brain is wired in such a way that I have an attraction. Not, my brain is attracted. Oh, I'm a victim of my brain.
normally because most people can go ahead and ethically pursue at least sexual activity with the person they're attracted to. I know that's not the case. A lot of us don't.
But do you feel it? Here's one of the really scary things with pedophiles, and it is that it looks like people who've worked with them have commented on this. From interviews I've watched, they do not feel that it's wrong. They have no. It's not just that they're not like attracted and they have the feeling that it's wrong. They fucking don't even have the feeling that it's wrong, and that's fighting with their attraction. It's very, very fucking spooky.
Ever abuse a child and don't ever seek to abuse a child.
Being a parent.
Hey, because you're cowards. My suspicion is that it's primarily because you're cowards, actually. Not because you are a beacon of virtue. A bastion of virtue, even. Beacon works.
Do you understand why I'd feel uncomfortable having you in a room while my daughter is there?
Yes, I do understand. And I understand what you might assume I'd want to do.
What you might assume I'd want to do. These kids you're attracted to, how much would you enjoy fucking them? Do you think?
But On the other hand, there are perhaps men that I don't know if you're married, but there are perhaps men you wouldn't want to be in the same room as your wife. And
bro, it's the thing. It's the fucking thing! I told you! They all do it. The pedophiles all do this. Normally it's like, you think it would be bad to have a pedo like in a nursery, but we trust men to be around adult women. Presumably, if he's married, his wife isn't a literal fucking retard. Presumably, his wife isn't mentally crippled. Presumably, she's not an inherently vulnerable person. Right? If a guy hits on your wife, that's bad, I'm pissed, I'll confront him. If my kid gets hit on or someone does something to my kids, that's something they should absolutely never, ever fucking have to experience. Like, my girlfriend shouldn't have to experience some creep doing that, but she's not going to be, that's the risk of that being like a permanent harm, very low. That even being done towards a kid? No. No,
it's a different situation because she can...
That's a different situation. That's nothing like this situation.
You're talking as if...
Yeah, he backed off. Oh. Absolutely, Roger. That he dropped that line. Okay, that line is a massive flag. Him saying he's a virtuous pedophile, him dropping that line, he is one of these pedos who's in groups strategizing about how to lower the public's disgust, how to increase acceptance and tolerance of pedophiles. These are absolutely canned, strategized little bits of rhetoric. This is what we're looking at. And this is why you can't give them an inch.
You having these attractions, it's a harmless thing. Like, you don't think it's wrong even that you find a young child attractive.
His answer to this might be interesting. She's sort of digging at my thing that's like, they don't even feel it. They don't even feel it.
The problem is that it's a spontaneously arising thing.
Stupid point. What do you think my point is? Do you not think there's a difference between preparing to be asked about your pedophilia and clearly being a member of Verped? The fucking pedo PR group.
The attraction itself is involuntary. Something that's
don't care.
Involuntary isn't a choice.
So do you watch like...
Wait. Hang on. Pedo think tank. That's more accurate, sure. Have a listen to this.
Thing, like, you don't think it's wrong even that you find a young child attractive.
You don't think it's wrong even that you find a young child attractive.
The problem is that it's a spontaneously arising thing. The attraction itself is involuntary. Something that's involuntary isn't a choice.
Piggybacking on, gay acceptance mantras. Born this way. It's not my choice. Things you don't choose can still be bad. Right? That doesn't make it not bad. Very clearly alluding to, sort of gay slogans.
Did you watch like TV programs and stuff?
And it's not pressed. Hey, if instead of just, having an urge that you can apparently contain to do things with children and an arousal from that, what if you were born in such a way that you see a child and you become a 28 days later zombie and zoom to fucking rape the fuck out of them brutally? Would that be bad? Or would that be fine because it's not your choice? Like not really a good or bad thing?
And look at a kid and be like, I fancy him.
Yes, that does happen.
And stuff.
Something that's involuntary isn't a choice.
So do you watch like TV programs and stuff and look at a kid and be like, I fancy him?
Yes.
You gotta ask, hey, do you think racial hatred is good? Really, feelings like that are, a reaction to stimulus, so it's not actually a choice. You don't choose to feel that way about other races. So would you say that's fine?
It does happen.
I find this crazy.
That is mad. I can't understand you. I'm sorry. That is crazy to me. Is a young child like?
It's a worrying thing. The brain does things before you're even thinking consciously about them, and attraction is one of those things.
What age did you become aware that you liked younger kids?
About when I was 11, and I was attracted to 11-year-old boys. I would be attracted to my peers, and I would continue to be attracted to my peers when I was sort of 13, 14, 15. But by the time I'm 14, I'm noticing that I'm still attracted to the boys at school who are 11. I suddenly realised at that time that it also went younger than 11 as well.
How young?
The youngest age.
Okay, this was snipped up. Okay, I gotcha. Sorry, Stanley, I didn't mean to slander you. I know that your racial prejudice is hard cultivated.
I could possibly be attracted to would be probably about 7.
Were you abused as a child?
No, I wasn't sexually abused as a child. I was bullied badly. My family certainly were not abused.
Not badly enough.
I grew up in a loving household. I had an attraction that nobody wanted to know about at that time, which was being gay.
So
If you start having thoughts that are negative, you can choose to not dwell on them. You can choose to push them away. That choice itself is predicated on pre-existing conditions, though. I'm not sorry.
I'm gay. I was the only gay in school and I had a lot of bullying through that.
I was the only gay in school.
Being gay.
So I'm gay. I was the only gay in school and I had a lot of bullying through that. Some people will believe that people that are gay should have therapy to sort of change that, and I don't think that's possible.
Right.
Do you think that the sexual attraction to children is similar in the way that it's something that can't be changed?
Exactly. It isn't similar in the way that it would be right or wrong to act on it.
Yeah.
Very careful to talk only about the acting.
It is similar, probably, like, if you think about the science of it. I'm really careful. I don't like making the comparison because I think it's really stigmatizing for gay people.
So do you?
Oh, he's a good guy. He's an LGBT pedo. Let's go.
You have therapy now?
I don't have therapy now, but I have had in the past. It's really hard to get any paedophile to talk to a therapist at all.
And that's why we need to destigmatize. Is he going to do this? Is he going to do it?
There's lots of reasons for that. We're very frightened. We think we might get reported even if we haven't done anything.
Do you have any attraction?
Here's the thing. There is the hypothetical where, oh, maybe there's something you can do about them. If you make it more comfortable for them to go into therapy. I don't actually find myself convinced by the idea that you destigmatize pedophilia, you get more pedos going in, you end up with less offenses. I don't think that's legit. I think the only people who would then go into such things are the ones who are the least likely to offend, and the ones who are most likely to offend will benefit from the lowered stigmatization, lowered sense of disgust, so on and so forth.
To adults as well, like have you been in relationships?
Yes, and I've had adult relationships.
So can you find adults as attractive as you can children?
Pretty much.
And have you told people that you've gotten into relationships with that you've got this attraction?
A couple of times.
And how has that been received?
It's been received okay in the situations I was in. They weren't complicated situations, by which I mean...
Hey, you stole that from me, Zara. The problem is, I think a society-wide destigmatization will end up with the ones who weren't going to do anything anyway going to get help, and the ones who were going to do things benefiting from an environment that is less suspicious of them. right? Less high alert. Reduced alert benefits the ones who want to offend, only ends up with the ones who are least likely to going for help. You get what I'm saying?
There wasn't, for example, a child involved around or something like that.
Have you ever had it where you've had a sexual relationship with the person and fantasised about a child?
I have sometimes, yeah, while having sexual interactions with an adult, thought of a child. There are adults who like that.
Really?
You're surprised? This lady's been on this show for a while. They've done a few episodes. You're surprised at that. Okay.
Yeah, in a roleplay sense.
Wow.
Have you had many long-lasting relationships as an adult?
No, they keep getting too old.
I haven't had many long-lasting relationships, and it's always a background factor that I think at some point this might come up. The fact of being a paedophile, and in a way you start to think just how fair is that on the other person, that they might have to hear that one day. And I don't think anyone who thinks about this situation for a second is going to be surprised that we don't disclose, because what on earth is in it for any human being?
What sort of contact have...
What's in it for me? I'm a virtuous pedophile. By the way, I'm not going to disclose that shit, because what's in it for me? Virtue. Virtue. I'm virtuous. We need to change the world so that pedophiles get a better deal. Okay.
Have you had with a child?
The contact I've had with children is social contact, not sexual contact. In the past, I did do some volunteering with children.
So in the past, you, as someone who fantasizes about children, had authority over the vulnerable class that is children. Okay.
You done volunteering to work with children?
Yeah.
Knowing you're attracted to them?
Knowing that I had the attraction, but also knowing, even at that stage, that I wasn't going to...
What, purposely?
Nope. We would judge someone for hiring someone they know as a pedo into that position, or rather allowing them to volunteer in that position. You choosing to put yourself in that position. No. No.
Knowing you're going to be working with the kids.
Not well...
If I let you volunteer for me to look after a bunch of kids, would people accept me saying, yeah, but he said he knows he wouldn't do it? He could have just lied to me and he could have not let anyone know he was a pedo. And then it would have been the same thing, right? Wouldn't it? No.
What do you mean by purposely?
You wanted to be around kids. Is that so you can perv on them?
No.
So when you was there, you didn't fancy any of them?
Yes.
Newest whaler. Thank you, Syphilis, for the whaler gift. I'm curious. If they ask him, why did you choose to volunteer with kids? If he does the thing where it's like, as pedophiles, we're the most aware of the vulnerability of children, and actually we're some of the people in society who want to help them most. If he does that line, I'm pretty sure I know. Like, I'm pretty sure he got all of his lines from Todd Nickerson. Like, legit, straight from Todd Nickerson. If he says that one, it's all from him.
Yes, I did, but it's not the same thing.
But how is it not the same thing?
I'm not going to say like, oh, it was absolutely fine, it was perfect, every paedophile should do it. Nothing bad happened.
Nothing bad happened. Yes, it did. A pedophile was given authority over a group of children. That is something bad happening. Thank you. Syphilis, another gift to Dix McCoy.
And certainly those children would have never had any idea if I had had an attraction.
Would you ever think...
Oh, I was just silently salivating over a group of children. That's fine, guys. That's normal, right? Don't be a bigot. It's just in his head. It's fine.
What do parents would think about that?
I know that the parents would hate that.
I think that anybody that has children should have a right to have that disclosed.
I do.
Yeah, but it's not going to happen. I'm talking hypothetically about like why what he did is wrong. In actual practice, they're fucking like evil lizard goblin people. You can't appeal to principle with them. They don't feel it. They don't feel bound to it in any way.
I'm full of
It was
pain.
syphilis.
My God.
Sythilis. Dix McCoy. Thank you very much, syphilis, for another one.
I understand why you say it, that everybody should have the right to have people like me just disclose, but you have to be realistic about what the penalties are for doing so.
You're justifying this in the context of you working with kids. Why do you have to work with kids? Why do you have to volunteer with kids? You have to understand, I'm a virtuous pedophile. That means I'm going to go look after your kids and not tell you. Because what's in it for me? Okay, evil.
If I told one person, I have no control at that point over who they might tell and what that person's attitude might be.
You had control over whether you wanted to work with children or not. You understand! King Europe, thank you. He understands how disturbed the parents would be. He understands that if someone had put him into that position knowing he was a pedophile, that would be considered a huge risk. He understands that from other people's perspective, even if we accept he knows he wouldn't do anything, I'm not convinced. I think pedophiles have impulse control issues based on some studies I've seen. Seems to be the case. Otherwise, you know, why would they ever hurt a kid? Because that's horrible if they didn't have any control issues. He knows it would disturb parents and decided to do it anyway and is justifying non-disclosure on the basis that he'd be hurt or something. He doesn't give a fuck about anyone else but himself, and he wants to be around kids not because he's a perv. No. 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 You chose to get around kids because it turned you on. You freak.
Might be.
So you would be involved in people's lives with children and just not say?
What's the alternative?
Not volunteering to work with kids! Yeah, see what I was saying? Pedos are not normal people who feel turned on by kids. They're very, 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 very fucking different to other people. They have just like a different set of gut instincts. They're almost reptilian. Cold, just. They see the world through a lens of assumptions that are connected to their desires.
The alternative
It's not be around children.
Thank you.
I do want people to know, but it's not that simple.
Have you ever viewed pornographic images of children?
I have never viewed any sexual content of children.
Why not?
It's kind of a combination of...
How about, like, also... Yeah. He said something about, what, am I supposed to just not be around them forever? Let's listen again.
Children and just not say.
What's the alternative? The alternative
is not be around
to live
children
alone forever. I do want people to know.
Oh, the alternative is just to live alone forever. Sorry. We've been presented the pedophile's dichotomy. Oh, I can only live alone forever or volunteer to be in charge of your kids at some sort of program. The pedo's dichotomy. Jesus Christ.
But it's not that simple.
Have you ever viewed pornographic images of children?
I have.
Here's the thing. Pornographic images of children, you can presume from someone's enjoyment of them that it's sexual enjoyment, right? Someone's consuming child pornography, it's for sexual reasons. A fun question to ask is, have you ever pleasured yourself to non-pornographic pictures of children? Have you ever surfed Facebook and jerked off to kids? Because even if he's like, I've never looked at CP, that may just mean he's jerked off to regular, normal, everyday pics of kids.
I've never viewed any sexual content of children.
Why not?
It's kind of a combination of...
It's kind of a combination of... Bro.
Being aware of the consequences.
Reason 1, consequences. Reason 1, consequences. I haven't looked at CP because of the consequences. Hey, better not fucking destigmatize your shit then, should we? Better not destigmatize it then, retard.
Feeling it's morally wrong, and also
feeling it's morally wrong. You don't feel anything of the sort. You do not feel anything of the sort. I do not believe it based on what you've said today. Or rather in this video. No, 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 no. If I was there, I'd want to go, hey, why is it morally wrong? Why do you believe that? I feel like you might struggle.
I don't think that would be something that would be an outlet for me.
You still fantasize about it though?
Yep.
It wouldn't be an outlet. Consequences, morality, and plus it wouldn't be fun enough.
So deep down, yeah, you feel you're not doing nothing wrong.
I haven't broken the law. Yes, in myself.
Ooh. Putting yourself, a person with an aberrant, and abhorrent as well, attraction to vulnerable people in a position where you have direct authority over them. You've done something wrong. I don't give a fuck that it's legal. I do not give a shit that it's legal.
I feel like I didn't choose the attraction. I don't think it's unreasonable.
Don't care that you didn't choose it. Even in believing that, you chose to place yourself around the vulnerable individuals that you are attracted to and have this paraphilia towards.
Reasonable that I get some kind of sexual life, so long as that's ethical.
Jerk off. It's called jerking off and using your imagination.
And I certainly have been through phases where I felt certain.
What's a sexual life? Hold up. I think it's only fair. Hang on, not unreasonable that I get some kind of sexual life. You said you were in relationships with adults and you're attracted to adults. There you go, there's your sexual life. What you're saying is, adults aren't enough for you, is what you're saying then. If you were attracted to adults and have been in relationships with adults, and you're still saying, I don't think it's unreasonable that I get some kind of sexual life, you're telling me that adults aren't enough for you now, right? That's a logical consequence of combining all the things you've said.
That's ethical. And I certainly have been through phases where I felt certainly the best way out is to die.
Based.
And I plan to die fairly often.
I mean, so do I, technically. Guys, I'm really relieved that this pedophile is not planning on becoming immortal. I got my medicine, yeah. I got my day eye drops, and I got my night eye drops, and I got my, headache sleeping pills.
Often, to be honest, I think the decision you end up making...
I plan to die early and often.
...is if you're not going to die, what are you going to do?
And your answer was, ding ding ding, volunteer to have authority over children. Nice.
And so you have to have some quality of life somehow.
Some quality of life somehow. Do jigsaw puzzles. Learn to paint. Oh, can't fuck kids? Zero quality of life. No existence. Bro, I have no sympathy whatsoever. You know who I feel really bad for? Regarding their inability to have a sex life? There's a guy called Mewtwo King, who was falsely accused of doing sexual things, and he had to disprove it by disclosing that he had a botched circumcision that absolutely just annihilated his cock, and he can't do anything sexual. He is mutilated to the point where he can't even come from jerking off. In terms of someone being denied a sex life, I feel really bad for that guy. You, who apparently enjoys having sex with adults as well, not being able to get off on kiddie stuff, I don't give a fuck. Deal with it. Deal with it. There are people with all sorts of disabilities that are missing out on stuff in life. There are people who once had something and then lose it because of disability. You just get turned on by kids. Too fucking bad.
To other people who's attracted to kids online.
So, the community I'm in...
Apologise, Whaler. Apologise right now. I wonder what it's going to be. Could it possibly be Verped?
It's like a bulletin board, no images that can be shared. That's not technologically possible. And there are rules.
Damn, you can't post a URL?
Rules about the way that you can talk about paedophilia.
But you...
Hey, I'm in the Good Optics Pedo Forum, where they have rules to stop us looking too pedo-y.
You still communicate with people who have committed crimes against kids?
Inevitably, yes, sometimes you will speak to someone who's, for example...
So I'm part of a vast pedophile network. Don't be scared of me. I'm just the pedo who's connected to a vast network of other pedos all across the world. I wouldn't ever do anything fucked up, and we're not plotting anything either.
For example, use child sexual abuse material online.
It seems like, to me, these child forums, you're all just enabling one another, really.
Enabling what?
Explain to me then.
Yeah.
Make me understand how...
Enabling what? For one example, working on strategies on how to present yourself to the public, perhaps by having one of you go on a show like this and copy points. You are pushing each other further, although you feel in yourself, I presume, that it's okay. You don't feel like you're an abomination. You don't feel like you were born wrong. Just reinforcing that it's okay. You're not bad. In fact, you've been so warped by this that you identify as a virtuous pedophile. That little label. Yeah.
How...
Enabling each other to, as pedophiles, feel like it's okay to put yourself in a position where you have authority over children. Without anyone knowing that you're a pedophile because of, ooh, what would happen to you if you're a pedophile? Enabling you to feel that you have some sort of right to sexual pleasure from children in some form or another, as long as it's ethical. Because otherwise your life has, zero quality. Enabling you to present yourself and feel that you're a victim. No.
Do you support one another on these forums then?
People come along. Usually the problem they're presenting with is that they're feeling enormous loneliness. We don't encourage people to do illegal things.
Why wear a mask?
I'm wearing a mask, obviously, because I'm just scared for my physical safety. Obviously, I'd lose my job if it became known that...
What is your job? I'm a little bit worried because they haven't said what the job is.
I was doing something like this. I want to at least have had a chance of, before I go, of having had some of that acceptance that I was really craving.
Oh, Hex, were you here earlier? He talks about how he volunteered with kids. Did you miss that part? I don't know what his job is. Let me hear that again.
This. I want to at least have had a chance of, before I go, of having had some of that acceptance that I was really craving, in spite of what I am. I think the change I'd like to see is that we...
By the way, you can call me Delaware.
We understand more about where paedophilia is a risk.
Understand more about where it's a risk. Straight up talking about carving out safe pockets, grinding away the resistance to your kind, letting him in, letting him dig in, worm in, infest, then you carve out a little bit more, then a little bit more.
that not only paedophiles can have some role in society without just immediately losing it because that fact is known.
But it's not going to happen. People ain't going to work with you knowing that you fancy kids.
Based! Holy!
I find it difficult because I don't think that you should personally be around children, but then I also, on the flip side, feel like this is probably something that is wired in your brain and you can't help it.
Yeah. There are a number of conclusions you can come to on the basis of that. Unfortunately, in her head right now is blasting, baby, I was born this way. If you're born this way, everything you want to do is good and fine.
I don't think that you're this horrible, evil person, and
no, incorrect.
And I think that there should be...
Wasn't your choice to be born wrong, but you were. Sorry.
More conversation, not to excuse it, but just to allow people to, one, get help, and to hopefully stop any kids being abused in the future.
I feel like this whole situation for you is a little bit hopeless. It's hard for me to try and even empathise with you.
We know, based on what he said today, that he's evil. His perspective is absolutely predatory, self-centered, entitled. Entitled pedophile.
I just think it's a bit of a lost cause.
This has been a difficult conversation for me. It's very difficult, and I'm scared that this is going to be a huge, huge mistake, a life-changing mistake. I wouldn't have done it if I wasn't prepared for the possibility that that's what it's going to be. We need a world where people can walk into a room and talk about this, and...
We need a world where 3 people and a pedophile can walk into a room and 3 people can walk out.
They don't end up dead.
Oh, but that world is not here today.
I don't think he's an evil person. I take away from this knowing that
You didn't get that vibe from what he was saying. I think, as a lesbian, she's absolutely mind-fucked into, if you're born that way, it's good and fine. If you're born that way, it's good and fine.
now that not all paedophiles are, I mean, I do think he's a risk, but I don't think that, you know, I didn't know that there was a paedophile that wasn't going to intentionally go out and molest children.
Yeah.
The propaganda works. The propaganda works. Damn, I didn't know there was a pedophile who didn't, like I said before, morph into a 28 days later fucking runner zombie who just grabs the first kid and, like, rams their cock up his ass. I had no idea. I thought you could just tell someone's a pedophile because they can't help but grab a kid. Also, lineage, yeah, intentionally. Some of them do it on accident. This is, yes, I hate Twitch. This is wild. This itself, I would say, is propaganda. Yes. Incredible.
I think that definitely was a learning curve. It's definitely something that needs to be spoken about. But in Mouse's case, I just think his mentality is just a bit hopeless.
His mentality is hopeless. I like to imagine that the guy was cut off, but he said, kill them all. Simple as. Find part 2? I don't think there is a part 2. Woman with the blue hair is the best of a bad bunch. They're dissing the interviewers for being too fucking hostile in the comments, dude. What in the fuck? Holy balls. Hara. Hara. Oh, wait, how fucking many is that? Trey! 10 bomb. Trey. Thank you. Cool. Alright. So what is this message? Ah, okay. Hang on. Bonk. I don't think there's a part 2. I can check if there is. Maybe there's like an editor's cut. I think these are all just short little things. They're not long. They're not like feature length. They have a different kind of guy every time, you know? We had the bug chaser. They do things like cult survivors or cult leaders. They have all sorts of stuff. Wait, what the fuck? We got OMG Trey with 2 more subs, and we got I Hate Twitch with another gifted sub. You guys are bombing me today. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very, very much. Where's the Tiger interview? We'll see. Wait, rewards enabled on channel. Get Apple TV rewards? What the fuck is this? Who wants that? Who wants that? We did the bug chaser. My bug chasing highlight video will be out on Friday, if you missed it. I think I made a pretty good... I think my bug chaser thumbnail has a good line in it. Alright? Yeah, it was a very positive experience. We did the bug chasers yesterday. I have something planned for next, but I will quickly check if there's any more to this. If there's a director's cut or something. By the way. No, there's no more to that one. Okay. What are these Channel 4 documentaries? Have they gone full cracked? I'm not a woman, but I'll take the benefits. Trans Maxer Life Uncovered. Channel 4 documentaries. We have a review. We have a review of the pedo video. Masked X. The other stuff's like Masked X Hitman, so on and so forth. Blah da blah da blah. What are they? I saw police officers breaking the law. The dark side of Love Island. Okay. I gotta tell you though. The Twitter edit of the Bug Chaser video was only half of its playtime, and this is the thumbnail for the original upload. Quote, slamming HIV plus blood. Abused by my white family. My cult hell. Yeah, I don't think we're going to find any more of these. I'm a little bit curious to see what was cut from the Bug Chaser.
I contracted HIV on purpose. Now people are asking me to give it to them.
What the f?
What do you do for a living?
It's back to the Bug Chaser. I think this middle bit was cut out. It's fine. I already edited my react. Missing bits, but that's fine. That just means I'm stealing less. I'm a good boy.
I can sort of anticipate the reaction that my answer will generate. I work in health services.
Ah! Oh, man. Oh, we're fucked. Get me out of here. Get me off this island. Get me off this island.
It's not a clinical role, but it's an administrative role.
That's definitely a twist.
Okay, that's better. That's better than it could have been. He's the one who decides which blood goes where. The mouse video is the same length as the one we looked at, so we've seen it all.
We're gonna have a break, so you can obviously reflect.
I'm surprised the Twitter edit didn't include that line.
I don't know, yeah. I just feel everyone's just talking at me and asking me questions and shit. I just need to be left alone right now because this is just mad.
Maybe check the legal part.
Minimise the risk.
At risk.
Is there a sexual element to giving HIV to other people for you?
Oh, okay. There's a little bit more to this that wasn't in the Twitter edit.
It was for practical purposes so that I could relax more during sex.
Is there a sexual element to giving HIV to other people for you?
Not always, although...
To be fair, these masks do that. Do you want to see my bug chasing mask? I have a latex mask. Hold up. I can go find the old picture. Sorry, it's an old photo. From when I was in a band that wore masks. There we go. This is my... See my eye on the left? It makes your eyes look crazy when you have a cover over them. Right? Makes them look even more glary.
People approach me to have sex with them, to infect them with HIV. I still have to have some sort of sexual attraction or chemistry to them.
So you would say you fetishize the actual act of giving somebody HIV? You know what I mean? Like, yes.
It's just the attraction of having sex with someone.
What do you do for a living?
Alright, we had that. Next up, married life. Genuinely heartbreaking, okay. Wonder if we ever played together. I feel like you'd know. Oh, do you mean like if you were another band? Oh, I thought you were played together as in the same band.
What was your life like growing up?
Maybe. Are you in, Oxfordshire?
So I lived with my mum and my stepdad and my younger brother. It was a fairly normal family life. I had a good education. I lost my virginity to a man when I was 14, and I met my wife to be at university, and we had a generally good relationship. I still always considered that I was gay. When I was married, I did sometimes have sex with men, but when I did, my focus was always on as much protection as I could possibly have.
He got HIV because it was ruining his ability to enjoy cheating on his wife. Bro, come on. Come on. 2001 to 2004. Very unlikely No, hang on. 2004, I was 13. That's the year I picked up guitar. I was not in a band and gigging at 13. I think that's the year I picked up guitar.
If I had spread something to my wife through my own actions, I don't think I could have lived with myself. And so I took every possible precaution. You're shaking your head.
Yeah, because that's ironic. Oh, I wouldn't want to give her, I wouldn't live with yourself, but you continuously would go out and have unprotected sex with men.
Any sexual activity I had with men when I was married.
He said he used protection. She's failing there. She's failing there.
And I was still having sex with my wife as well. It was totally protected.
She's fumbled this. Cheating, no matter how much risk, is exposing your partner to risk they're not aware of. I don't think it's right on that basis. I don't think it's right to cheat, but that's an added reason it's bad.
It was only after I got divorced, it felt as if I was less off the leash almost in terms of sex.
Because no matter how safe you were, she didn't choose that risk. She didn't agree that you can do that and mitigate the risk. She doesn't have a say in it. And you're married, or even just boyfriend and girlfriend, you've agreed to monogamy. So no, it's not on. Not fucking on.
I knew what the risks were with having unprotected sex, and I knew at some point I probably would get HIV, but at that time, when I first started, I wasn't looking to deliberately get HIV, and that just sort of evolved.
He was casual and went pro eventually.
Over time.
Why, if you want to have unprotected sex, why not go on PrEP? Why contract HIV?
Yeah, I know. Certainly when I first started thinking about becoming HIV positive, PrEP wasn't an option. When I consciously made the decision to chase, PrEP was available, but because of other medication that I was on and the process I'd had to go through to get stable for another health condition, it really put me off going on PrEP and adding something else into the mix as well.
But HIV added into that is fine! Oh, I have all these illnesses. Didn't want to add fucking PrEP onto it, so instead I just went out and got HIV. No. I straight up just don't believe him. I think he's lying. I don't fucking believe this. I do not fucking believe this. At all. At all. At all. I didn't want to add PrEP into that mix. It would complicate things, so instead I got HIV on purpose. Shut the fuck up. You're lying. I think you wanted it because you thought it was hot. I think you're one of those freaks.
It took 10 years for me to contract HIV. Towards the end of that period, I decided that I would then start to actively seek HIV positive guys to have sex with. What I'm going to say now is probably going to really, really upset you.
Here we go.
And probably really sicken you. So I then started seeking out guys who were happy to blood slam me.
I don't know if I want to click play again. I don't think I want to click play again. I'm gonna be honest.
And that is injecting me with their blood. I sought out 3 guys who were HIV positive, who were happy to inject me, and I arranged to meet them. A few weeks later, I tested myself, and I was HIV positive. When I got my test results, it was almost a bit of an anticlimax. It wasn't what I was expecting at all, and you still look disgusted.
Yeah, because you do disgust.
Oh, you still look disgusted. All I did is, like, hook up with people to get blood slammed into HIV positive status. Come on and slam! Welcome to the jam.
Okay. Then I appreciate everyone has a a different idea about it.
What do you mean a different idea? You say things like you're
The pedo used enough "I'm a victim" language. It works on people. The emotional manipulation works on people.
justifying.
But some of them are justifiable, and I feel like you are closed off to it.
No, I'm not closed.
I feel like you're closed off to having multiple men blood slam you. It's very bigoted.
If I was closed off to it, I wouldn't be sat here listening to chat.
No, I think
if I
you
was
are.
closed off about it, I would not be sat here listening to him
Look.
chat. But the things that you are saying, you cannot expect me to sit here and be all smiley with you. What are you expecting from me?
I can relate to one thing you said quite deeply. Even though I don't share your decision, like this is you.
We already did that before.
Most people will judge you before they even
But there's
consider.
no.
Well, this is what I'm talking about.
No,
The gay dude is defending it. I'm in your walls. We watched a Twitter edit of this yesterday. And the gay guy says, hey, to some people, getting AIDS is the gayest thing you can do. So it's like a core part of your sexuality and expressing yourself. He said some wild shit.
Because at the end of the day,
that I would get arrested for saying a gay person said.
you're playing with your life by choice
But
because
Right.
you want to have more pleasure.
It's
We already had
genuinely like
Okay. Here we go. Here's another chunk we haven't seen.
Actually, it's not a little bit more pleasure. It ruins your intimacy for good.
I think it's genuinely like heartbreaking that people put themselves in that position and feel like they have to put themselves in that position.
Hello.
Matthew Harder fed the streamer a $5 superberry.
Thank you.
You know, it's the gents like this that are the reason we have HIV 2.0. It's evolving.
True. There are a bunch of strains, aren't there? I was talking about this yesterday. It's a big deal, right? And you can get multiple strains.
I really think that's so deeply sad. But on the flip side of it,
I think it's deeply retarded and disgusting, personally, and irresponsible and reckless. I do believe HIV stacking is a thing. Fact check. Okay. Can you stack HIV in Google? According to Healthline, it is in fact possible to contract more than one strain. Maybe that's why you had to have multiple blood slams.
do think that there's so many issues with that.
So it's a condition that is treatable.
Yeah, but then you're also putting more strain on the NHS, that's what I'm saying. I'm gay, I've got a lot of gay friends.
Oh, it's treatable, so... Oh, okay, then why were you so scared to get it? I'm starting to say I don't even believe they believe it's a matter of anxiety about getting it, so they just get it to get it over with. I think that's some shit they've come up with to not sound like they're just into bugs. At this point, I don't think it holds up.
And I know people that have HIV. I don't know anyone that's actively wanted to have HIV, but I've seen people going through that, and I've been there for people that have gone through that.
And I understand why.
Is it a lie or is it rationalization? As in, is it a self-delusion? They might almost believe it themselves, but I'm not convinced it's their genuine reason.
You and a lot of other people think like that.
Yeah.
As well.
But I understand why you feel like I get the side of it where you like that freeing moment then of it being like there's not this looming thing.
I totally get where you're coming from as well. For so many people, it's a life-changing moment and very traumatic. I'm not here to try and justify myself to anyone. I'm here to explain why I do the things that I do, but that's not necessarily justifying what I do. The way sometimes I think that this discussion has gone is that it seems that everyone in the gay community is wanting to be HIV positive, but it's actually quite a small proportion.
What is he talking about? The way the conversation's going, it makes it look like everyone who's gay wants HIV. No, it doesn't. That's not what this looks like.
In fact, I'd say it's like a niche within a niche.
Why did you decide to wear a mask? And would you ever show your face, given what you've told us?
Because it is such an emotive subject, both HIV in general, and particularly bug chasing and gift giving, then I wouldn't feel happy talking generally and openly about my choices and about my status. I'm happy with the choices I've made. I don't regret them. Whether I'll do them again in the same way in another life, I don't know. But I
would I have fucking AIDS blood squirted into my veins again? Not sure.
Don't think the vast majority of people would ever truly understand my reasons for bug chasing, gift giving. It just doesn't seem logical to, I think, the majority of people, even within the gay community.
Even though I understand.
This is too much even for most gays.
Understand where you're coming from. I feel like it's almost undoing the work I spent 5 years in activism. This is not the most triggering thing that's happened today, because I actually get you. I don't agree with you,
sure,
but I see where it's coming from. But what this has brought up is how a lot of people, particularly straight people, don't pay attention to the fact that society f***ed us and then points fingers at us for having issues, valid issues, and fetishizing the pain that we carry.
I'm not trying to shock you, and I appreciate that a lot of people do find it a very distressing topic. I'm not doing it to create that sort of reaction. Thank you, though, for
doing it to create more spaces for HIV to flourish and evolve and adapt.
Listening to me, and even if you don't agree, for at least listening to what I've had to say. I appreciate that.
Likewise. I think this must have been really difficult for you. I appreciate it.
Cheers.
The body is so good.
That was difficult. That was really difficult.
Yeah, okay. Ooh. We've got another thing to try. This is called the HIV sandwich. Where we've gone from pedo stuff to HIV to alleged pedo stuff. It's called a pedo sandwich. Classic media term. Some people aren't familiar. You know what? I was just thinking, man, should I delete my upload? I already uploaded my react to the Twitter clip, but there's some good bits in the full thing. But the upload of the Twitter highlights is monetized. The bits that aren't in the Twitter video of that bug chaser, these bits today, it's just for you guys. It's not going into a YouTube highlight video. I'm not doing that. Because I know I'll add it and then it will be demonetized the next time. Alright. No, I'm not big enough, Rev. I don't have the privilege of tweaking videos once they're already uploaded. Make it a short... Oh yeah, I can just clip this up and put it on Twitter or something as well. Right? Alright, give me a sec. I'm supposed to when I'm doing heavy use. Look at this little knob. You know what this little nozzle. It's a little blue dot. That mostly got in my eye. Okay. Oh. That's the, these are the eye drops, the like ones you have to get prescription. And then at night, before I go to bed, right? I'm supposed to put a centimeter of this onto my eye. The fucking description of how you apply this is a centimeter onto your eye, which is like, Jesus. What's it called? Clinitas, multi 0.2% sodium hyaluronate, lubricant eye drops. Thank you, anonymous user, for the gift to Creepy Psychopath. Right, I'm not too familiar with Demon Mama. I'm extremely biased against them because I know that my sister was a big fan. How about that? It does mean a 1 centimeter line, I'm imagining putting it onto my eyeball. Oh. Not familiar with West Side Tyler, but apparently this is an enjoyable viewing, I've heard. So many gifteds. Oh, yeah, I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. If you don't want to gift subs and instead you want a cup, if instead you want a cup or a t-shirt, we've got some black metal logo merch that my girlfriend designed. How's the video backlog for Australia going? I am up to September 6th. Next video I do will be September 9th, then September 13th, then September 16th, which is the day after I'm back. So I don't have many more to do. And then after that, I can, if I make any more, I can cram them into the Australia weeks. Yeah. Alright. Demon Mama is a bread tuboid who I believe over the years has gotten into a bunch of little bits and pieces of drama, right?
I'm full of opinions. It's my.
I don't remember if Demon Mama is pro or anti-Vosh, or if it's a mix, or they're spread around. I know that Card was trying to appeal to Demon Mama. We'll see. We'll see. That's not too important to me. Holy shit, people just throwing everything at me. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for the gifts, Anon, and thank you for the £10, David Smith. Greatly appreciated. Hopefully, this will be interesting. If it's not, I don't know what I'm doing if it's not. I'll go raid the YouTube React suggestions, or I'm in Chud's server now, I can just fucking steal what people recommend to him. Anyway. Let's see what this is. I'm sure the intricacies of their relationships don't matter, or if they do, this Westside Tyler fellow will make us aware. Disavows Keffels and Vosh. Ooh. I have a feeling the Mr. Medicare fuck flu vid will not be Twitch friendly. You can only talk about bug chasing positively. You can only show sources that talk about bug chasing positively, okay? Or in an understanding light. Let's go.
Content warning. This video contains descriptions of despicable acts and depravity involving children that may disgust or disturb you.
David Smith fed the streamer a 10-pound superberry.
Thank you very much. What if instead of a content warning, it's like, pedo warning? This content may include descriptions of acts performed on children that may turn you on. See what I'm saying?
Do not listen to this video in any public place.
You can own your audience. You can be like, there's weird shit in this video, you're gonna like it.
Or where others may hear the content described herein.
Win back the weebs. No. I'm alright.
No graphic images will be shown directly, though representations obscured with mosaic overlays may be used.
Okay.
Viewer discretion is advised. On July 29th, 2024, a self-identified leftist online political commentator and live streamer known online by her
I can't believe this is the Amazing Atheist now.
handle Demon Mama, aired a roughly 3-hour and 5-minute live stream titled Xander Hall One.
Is that George Floyd? Is that a weird, like, squiggly line George Floyd painting behind the chat on the right?
It's a nuke. Here is your nuke. During the video, she laid out a series of accusations against another politics live streamer in her space, the Xander Hall mentioned in the title. In this live stream, amongst a number of issues, Demon Mama claimed Xander Hall was especially onerous in his treatment of an employee known as Cherry Bread in online spaces. Particularly,
we looked at this. We looked at this. Cherry! 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 Keffels has to die!
Accusing him of withholding pay for
someone has
selfish
to die.
reasons.
Cherry! You got the fucking number wrong! You got the number wrong! So none of the money came through! Cherry! Cherry! I can't pay you because I didn't get the fucking P&V money!
Generally being abusive. Now, mind you, these were not issues that Demon Mama had just found out about or that had recently occurred, but rather had happened over half a year prior and never been reported. Allegations that included abuse of a worker by their employer, exploitation, and even death threats. While Xander Hall was justifiably browbeaten for his bad behavior, for some reason, only I was asking a question that I thought would be obvious to everybody. What kind of person covers up evidence of abuse and death threats for months in order to blackmail somebody? The answer is the sort of person who will cover up other stuff as well. And that answer led, obviously, to the second question. What kind of stuff?
Fashion. He got uppity with me because I made fun of the idea.
Anybody with a passing knowledge of Demon Mama knows she's closely connected to and in real life friends with Ian Kaczynski, known online as Vosh Vidya or Vosh. Vosh's roughly half-decade-long career online has been plagued with a series of scandals involving his ready use of child pornography and child sexual abuse as a rhetorical lever while crafting arguments. In fact,
hang on.
And child sexual plagued with a series of scandals involving his ready use of child pornography and child sexual abuse as a rhetorical lever while crafting arguments. In fact, much of Vosh's rhetorical structure revolves around the use of sexual innuendo and even outright gross sexual imposition against others.
That's true. Probably thinking of his clip where he says, "I have yet to hear a convincing legal or ethical argument why possession of child porn is wrong." Blah 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 blah. That stuff is what he's referring to.
Some of the best known memes regarding the, at the time of writing, 457,000.
I was just stunned for a second because when he said use of child porn, I was thinking use of the material itself, and I was thinking, what the fuck is he talking about? Reference to it. Usage of it as a concept, okay.
1,000 sub YouTuber involved painting him as a child sexual predator, and his well-documented
the kid finder of Kharkiv
to engage in acts of bestiality as a male host. This culminated in early February 2024 when Vosh accidentally streamed the contents of a folder filled with pornography to a live audience of thousands, including a drawn image involving children performing oral sex on a horse. This is actually an important detail for later. Now colloquially known as the Taxes folder incident, Vosh's pornography drop was condemned by...
Did I tell you guys about the Merry Christmas folder incident? Which is, I think I have a better pedo. So, Vosh hid it all in the taxes folder. I went to school with a pedo. I can show you in the local news. His name was Scott Brocklehurst. I've got a better pedo for you, alright? A better pedo folder. Vosh had the taxes folder. My local pedo, he had the Merry Christmas folder. I think it wins.
Nearly the entirety of the internet, with a few notable exceptions. To this day, Demon Mama has never openly condemned Vosh for his possession of these materials, and, from what I understand, discussion of the topic is largely banned on her Discord server.
Oh! Okay. Do you think that's just because that's the behavior that kind of person has? Like, Alec Gunter banned discussion of it at the time as well. Do you think there was maybe a group chat? Shut it down. Or do you think they just instinctively do it?
The answer to this quandary isn't deep. Demon Mama simply doesn't mind possession of these sorts of materials.
I know you would throw a fit if I didn't.
I'm shaking. I've got like fight or flight.
This is Pseudo Fawn, Demon Mama's longtime partner and one of
I can't take it. Holy fuck.
the two notable members of the polyamorous relationship she shares with Doe, another slightly less well-known streamer with some presence in the debate sphere. Fawn began dating Demon Mama, real name Emily Sovis, sometime in June of 2017, according to a tweet posted to Fawn's Twitter in July of 2021.
Okay.
Some general internet sleuthing helped to narrow down Sovis's original home to Henrietta, New York, which also let us get the most important bit of information, her actual birth date, which was in October of 1990. That makes Demon Mama currently 33, and according to Discord messages, Fawn attended the first Salt Lake Comic-Con in 2013 at the age of around 16 to 17, which would make Fawn around 27 to 28 now. These ages aren't
33 the magic number.
Thank you, Glazetron, for the prime.
Aren't immediately important, but they will be soon enough.
Okay.
For the better part of a decade, Fawn has expressed public interest in drawn pictures.
So what was it, 27 and 30, so 6 years. Whenever Demon Mama's age comes up in relation to this person, think this person's 6 years younger is my suspicion.
Pictures of children in sexual situations. There are a number of tweets to this effect, but to quote a couple of them, I am extremely out of the...
You into cute little shouted dick, huh? Unless that's like calling someone a pedo, as opposed to being like, you like it too, right, huh? I can't imagine not just instinctively not being friendly towards them. I don't know.
There are a number...
It's bigotry, but I like it.
Of tweets to this effect, but to quote a couple of them, I am extremely out of the loop in the world of pornography, probably because all I care about is trap and shota dojins. Shota is Japanese drawn pornography of prepubescent boys in sexual situations. Also, yo, can anyone hook me up with about 4,000 drawings of traps, shotas, and new halves where I can crop solely to the face? Thanks in advance.
Okay.
Understanding the ages of the individuals involved and the context of what led them to this point is
so it just matters that they're that
important
old.
in understanding the actual gravity of the situation when we get to the interview portion of this video and hear from a person who was victimized by these two individuals and who would have...
My guess was wrong. I thought he was going to push it back to the past. Never mind. They are very much full adults.
Been around 13 years old when he started talking to Demon Mama in 2016. We'll get to that shortly, but to clear any confusion, Doe expressed interest in such materials and was still sharing and even making them as recently as this year. Sharing their art depicting extremely young-looking animals and their own childish avatar creature on furry fetish website E621. They are categorized as children in the tags. If you are a remotely normal person, you will hear the things that I'm saying and probably think to yourself, what on earth is going on with these people? I asked
Phantom.
the same question, and a very, very curious thing happened. A lot of people from Demon Mama's community and the larger Vosh orbiter space seemed extremely concerned about everything regarding the way I talked about her bizarre...
Oh, shut up. That showed it, and lowly stuff is gross, but to confuse it with actual child porn is wrong. It trivializes that nice copy-paste, little Siberian bear. When did he do that? Tell me the quote of him doing that. When did he confuse it with porn of actual children? I don't think he did that.
Behavior, except the fact that her...
Sounds to me like you're saying it's fucking creepy and weird. And he's also talking about someone who he's, I believe, going to allege has done stuff with children.
Partner of over half a decade likes polishing the carrot to drawn pictures of children in sexual situations. These include names of people like Somniostatic and Gay Fesh, who are often seen in Vosh's chat giving donos and outside of Vosh's chat doing whisper campaigns and trying, sometimes successfully, to get people's social media accounts shut down. But they can't all know each other, right? Well, here they are in Demon Mama's stream at the same time during a reveal of her fursona. Posadas John, another consistent Vosh pay pig, is also there. And they all know the porno artist who drew Demon Mama's persona, creature thing. And I find that strange. But for
half mastectomy wolf.
some reason, it's hard for people to articulate these ideas in this space because there's something of a cult of personality around Demon Mama, Vosh, and the other individuals mentioned. A cult that I believe threatens, coerces, and blackmails other creators into obedience. And it sounded much more far-fetched, even to me, when I was just sharing my thoughts about it on stream. But you know who didn't think it sounded far-fetched?
Okay.
The person I'm going to introduce you to right now.
Let's go.
All right. So go ahead, introduce yourself, and then we can just hop into the timeline of stuff.
Okay.
Okay, it's an
I
interview.
am Glooby. I was a thumbnail artist for Demon Mama, and I've known her for about 8 years. I would consider myself, or I did consider myself, a close friend of hers for a good amount of time. I suppose I should just get into the timeline then. I met Demon Mama, as she's mentioned on stream a couple times, on Overwatch in 2016.
Every time. Why is it Overwatch every time?
I think late 2016 at the latest. I was 13, 14 at the time. And our relationship just started off like friendly, and we played games together. I eventually was introduced to her partners, and we played.
Vivicious. I think you really want to dot your I's and cross your T's on this one. You don't want to have in the note vivacious and then in the example vivicious.
As well. And
can I ask you a little bit about those? So how did you first meet for real? Like, so what, you said you were playing a game. What game were you playing? And how old were you at the time?
Yeah, I had to stop playing Overwatch because after people could hear that I was an adult, they just kicked me from the groups, and I wanted to do organized ranked. It was really hard.
So I was 13 or maybe 14 at the time. I think 13 because it would have been, if I remember correctly, it was on Overwatch on a Kings Row match. It wouldn't have been during any of the holiday stuff, so it wouldn't have been like decorated towards it. So it would have probably been summer.
Okay, driver's license confirmation. Okay.
Of 2016. So I would have been 16 at the or not 16, sorry, 13 at the time. I met her. She was in voice call and in the like match lobby, and people were like giving her shit for like talking. I'm guessing.
I think deserved. I've heard very little Demon Mama, but I probably deserved.
I'm assuming is because she's a trans woman and just people being bigoted and shitty. And I was like a goober little kid, so I was like, fuck those people. If you want, we could go play. We were doing well, yada yada. And we ended up grouping up together after that game and just continued playing throughout the night. And then we added each other on Discord. I don't know if it was that day or after a bit, but I know we played for a good bit. And then that's how we started talking online and all that.
And I think I'm aware that Demon Mama's age is she was born in 1990, I believe, so she would be about 26 in 2016.
I did not know that was her age. Good to know, actually. So that actually helps me a lot, timeline wise here. So that will give me some good.
I cannot imagine hanging out with a 13-year-old at 26, unless it's like my fucking brother or something.
Oh, that makes that worse.
Yeah,
knowing that.
Sorry, I went through. I endeavored to find necessary information because it's obviously quite relevant to this. Knowing that the individual would be 13 years older than you. If you're 13 and they're 26, is a substantial difference. But you guys hopped into the Discord, and
Chud was freaking out because he played Apex with Goober. Oh, so he can. I mean, he can verify that that person was around.
And started talking immediately, off and on. Did you join her Discord, or did you just friend each other?
There was, I think, a server that I was. I forget. I know there was a couple people in it that she still has around. I know Fawn was in it, a partner at the time that she had that she's not dating anymore. Some other folk that were just chill.
Lepel, it's not just going to be playing with someone on Overwatch, I guarantee you.
What's it called? I know at first it was just DMs, and then I was invited into a server where we would go into VC, and it was either a server or a private DM call, or like one of the group ones. I can't remember specifically, but I think it was a server because it had VCs and text chats.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
And what did you guys talk about, and what was the nature of the server?
It was pretty casual. I know there was an art section, so it might have, it would definitely. Okay, so it was probably a server then if it had an art section, and I know Fawn posted her stuff there, and I posted my stuff there. If it wasn't a server, then it was definitely in DMs or a private chat with all of us in it. 'Cause I remember us talking about the different art and Demon Mama being there and Fawn being there and some other folk being there. I don't want to name them. If I do name these people, I don't want them to like get thrown through the gutter for this because they were just there.
My primary focus on individuals that would have been around Demon Mama.
This kid is sweeping for Chud.
At the time are on people that are still around her now.
Okay.
So Demon Mama, Fawn, notable figures in her community like Gay Fesh and like any of those individuals, I would like for you to bring up if it's okay with you. But anybody who's a sort of like a private citizen and has since
yeah, we can speed it up. I was thinking about it. Will it be intelligible?
departed, there's absolutely no reason to bring them up.
Then in that case, I won't bring them. Yeah. Okay. So at that point, it was casual, and I know I was sharing art. I don't know if it was not safe for work in nature at the time, but I know I was just sharing general art that I made in the chat, and Fawn was sharing the stuff that she made, and it was mostly not safe for work in nature. Some of it wasn't.
Okay.
Around then, I would say that's when like the sharing of it became like it started with Fawn. And I know Demon Mama did share some of the stuff that like she didn't draw. I know she doesn't draw, but I know she did share some of the stuff that she was into as well in the art chats.
Can I? This is going to be a little gross.
Do people prefer to just have a big unedited interview? I like when there are big interviews to have access to the unedited version, but for the main presentation to be key points.
You're already familiar with this stuff, but can I describe some of these images, and you can confirm that these are the ones that you sent?
It's not fully an ideology about nuking the world so we can have true communism, but that is one of the things that was supported potentially, the view. Like, that's not the core of the ideology, but that they certainly do not shy away from nuclear holocaust as a potential path to communism.
That she sent you earlier?
Yes, go for it.
So one of them is this is from Pseudophon on July 28th, 2020. It's like the back end reproductive organs of a horse with a tail.
Oh, the atomically accurate horse.
Yeah.
Yeah. That I remember when I saw that the first time. I was shocked. I was like, oh, this is. I
gotta tell you, I don't know how to pronounce it. Hosidism, named after the originator of the ideology.
This is a bit much, even for what I expected Fawn.
I believe, if I remember correctly, when I looked into it.
To be into, and at this point, well, I guess I will get to that in the timeline. But at this point, I thought I guess technically even I didn't follow it at the time as a minor. The now sharing of the not safe for work stuff while they moved to wherever they moved to.
Yeah.
So at that point, I'm gonna be honest, getting sent atomically accurate horse pussy out of nowhere was kind of like, oh,
atomically accurate.
I don't want to talk to this person very much. And there was a general, I think I might actually have it in the DMs, there was kind of a gap before I talked to them again because it did make me uncomfortable at the time, and I won't lie about that.
Yeah,
see if I can find that.
There's another one. You might be a little bit back where the gap seems to be between Pseudophon in that same year, but April of 2020, sending you a picture of an erect penis with I'm assuming that's her like avatar or something hanging off the side of it.
Yeah, I am not sure what that is. And that one, yeah, I was confused as well about that one, but I kind of just was like, yeah, and then moved on because I really didn't want to acknowledge it, I guess.
And these people were pretty aware of your age. I mean, you said you were in voice chat. Obviously, if you're under, even 16 years old, you're probably...
It's there. Nah, there's no room for. We didn't know with a 13. Nah.
Probably, as they say, a squeaker.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned that because...
Am I crazy with, like, sex stuff? I don't... It's not just that, like, Right. It's not just that I have no active desire to involve children. I don't want kids involved. Not into the idea of having, like, a Discord server where people are, like, trading porn and stuff. But if I was, I would actively not want kids around, because it would ruin it for me.
It was told to me more than one time that I acted older and everything for my age by these people. Okay. So it's funny in a fucked up sense, and it's not funny. I'm coping horribly right now.
No, it's completely fine. Did you think that was?
But to be fair, my opinion doesn't really matter because I don't want a goon, like a private goon Discord.
A major highlight of your relationship with these individuals while you were in the server with them, that you were notable for your youth and for sort of, I don't know, your...
Well, it wouldn't even be like actively try to keep them out, because if I was going to do a porn and gooning Discord, it wouldn't be a public Discord.
Kind of permissibility with sharing these fairly explicitly sexual images.
Like they acknowledge.
If you have a fucking porn Discord and it's not private and invite only, and you're not vetting everyone, I wouldn't call that a responsible Discord, personally.
But it didn't really change anything, I guess. Like I kind of was just another one of the people in there, despite my age.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I can get into this part of the timeline then, the video call incident.
Please.
I think we were playing games at first, but it ended up being either we were playing games or drawing or hanging out or something. So I know Dia Mama and Fawn were in the call, and Fawn turned on her camera, and I look over, and she's flashing dildos on her screen and laughing.
Mm-hmm.
And what's it called? Dia Mama did, I will mention, Dia Mama did go Fawn, like telling her to stop. But it did not stop Fawn for that to then go into detail and tell me which dildos were joke dildos and ones she actually used.
Jeez. And how old were you at the time?
I would have been at the most 14, 15.
Okay. And were you on video? They were looking at you. You were looking at them.
So potentially younger. As in, we're talking like 14.
Or was it just one?
I might have been on video. I don't think.
If it's 14 or 15.
So, though. I don't think I had a webcam at that point.
Look at that gummy smile. Here's the thing. It's not the gumminess that bothers me, is that she seems to have a bunch of bone sticking through higher up than her teeth in the gum, right?
Gotcha. And you would say that, so very clearly, Demon Mama noticed that something inappropriate was happening. They're fairly aware of your age, and she did not cut the call, even though she could have, and put a stop to that.
Yeah, it could have ended right then and there, but it did not. The call just kept going. And
how did that make you feel?
I was really uncomfortable in the moment. I didn't really know what to feel, I guess. I'm still kind of not really grasping the gravity of what has been going on and what has happened. I'm still very much just, I guess just...
You want to be in the in-group, so anything like the first starts with little bits. Here's a little cartoon. It's just cartoons. Here's a cartoon, kiddo. Here's a cartoon, kiddo. Oh, then look, it's just my dildos. Ha 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 ha. Just make you more and more comfortable. Little boundary push, little boundary push. You want to be cool, right? You're a friend.
I just feel like fucked up about it. Just feel weird and really not good about all of it. And
was would you say that at your age, was this probably one of maybe your first sexual experiences with?
Oh yeah, I would definitely say so.
And they sort of made that decision for you.
Yeah, I would definitely agree on that. I did not consent to that at all.
Mm-hmm. Was there more of this sort of horse playing with sexuality, knowing that there was a minor around happening, or was this kind of a one-off, or maybe something that they were testing the waters with? What was your impression?
How am I right now? I think these drops are helping. I do feel a little bit dry, but like not as I'm not feeling the burning like I normally would.
Honestly, now knowing what Fawn's tweeted, I don't know if there was anything malicious going on. I don't want to like imply that I feel that way, but it is really weird.
Malicious isn't necessarily the right term, because their intent isn't necessarily to do harm for the sake of doing harm. It's that they don't care about doing harm to you for the purpose of what they really want.
That she was so open to talk about her kinks and like do that and share her not safe for work. And a lot of the not safe for work she did share with me around that time was like Binding of Isaac characters, and the stuff she still draws is Binding of Isaac characters. And if you know what Binding of Isaac is, it's about like dead babies.
Yeah,
and
little
kids.
children.
Yeah.
When did you find out about Fawn's Twitter and her sort of predilection towards being very open with a sexual attraction towards minors?
When you made your stream about it, actually, I didn't know those tweets existed.
Oh, okay.
I followed her on Twitter, but like after a while when I made a Twitter, but I didn't
triple platform dicks. That's fine.
Know those ones existed, and when I realized it matched up around the time that I met her and started talking to her and interacted with her, it made me really uncomfortable knowing that she was sending me all that stuff and talking about all that stuff while actively jerking it to Shotokan.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to press you too much more on that, but do you think that there's a direct relationship between their maybe not necessarily Demon Mom as well, but certainly Fawn, their relationship with you and these tweets that they were making? Do you think that there's possibly a direct connection? Because they're almost doing this exactly the same time.
I really don't want to believe that. I really don't want to think that she did that and thought like that. But there is a chance, and I really don't like that there is a chance that that's a possibility. I don't want to. I mentally don't want to entertain that because I've known her and talked to her and like have heard like sad fucked up shit from her and her. Like we've had one-to-one conversations about our existences and all of the fucked up shit in our lives.
People never pronounce predilection correctly.
Lives, et cetera, et cetera. But like, I guess because of how I viewed her as a friend in quotations, because of our very fucked up relationship, it hurts me to know that that's a chance. And this is a very real possibility.
This is something I've heard a few times from people that are leaving Demon Mama's community or even connected to it, that they maybe witnessed something inappropriate, had an inappropriate experience, maybe felt some uncomfortable feelings, and the sort of trauma relationships that were built between people and the sort of friendship that they didn't want to lose was something that they felt they had to put ahead of maybe, talking that they didn't want to lose, of trauma relationships that were built between people and the sort of friendship that they didn't
trauma relationships. I might need that explained.
Want to lose was something that they felt they had to put ahead of maybe, talking about how uncomfortable they were or talking about maybe ending a certain kind of behavior. Do you feel that might have influenced decisions on your part to say like, hey,
what's the smoking gun here? You can't insanity and incendiary stuff. You don't think wait, are you so on board with the weirdo cartoon porn stuff that you think a 26-year-old sharing it with a 13-year-old is fine? Because it's cartoon? Bro, you're not that far in, are you? Come on.
Don't ever do that again, or I'm very weirded out by this, or anything like that?
Alright, then ostensibly that's what we already have. They were sharing the like porn cartoons with this 13 to 14-year-old at the time. Like they were on a video call, and like this one person, Fawn, was telling this kid and showing him which dildos are joke dildos and which ones they actually use and stuff like that.
I would definitely say so. I think that's probably why it took until hearing all of that stuff and seeing a friend of mine come on your stream. And shout out to Triptych for talking about the Demon Mama stuff, because I didn't know they left. And I knew they were in the middle of the shitstorm that was the Demon Mama mod team and that whole community being the fucking...
They're a furry, you're guessing? Well, they drew horse porn, at least.
Mess that it was. And it was a mess when I moderated it. And I can't even imagine how bad it was now with how culty it got in there.
Demon Mama and the partner, I believe, Fawn.
I'm going to get to that and some of your work history here in a second. I think I just have one immediate question, and then we could finish up the timeline. There's just one other screenshot you sent me. I'm going to read it to you, and then I just want to get some of your impressions on it. You guys were talking about some other stuff that might feed his ego, but it's really funny. This is from July 8th.
It was Fawn.
2021.
And regarding the video or call or whatever it was with the dildos, Demon Mama was aware and said stop it, but Fawn didn't, and Demon Mama just was like, oh yeah, whatever, carry on.
About a month or a year after some of those previous ones, you wrote, it'll feed the horny minds, including mine, by the way, if you're worried about NSFW stuff, I'm 18, so we vibing, cuz. And Demon Mama said, I'm not anymore, smiley face. You've always been respectful about that. That's a very curious thing for an adult to say.
Oh, lovely. Oh, we're getting into this. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, when I forget when this happened, but I was probably, I think maybe 15, 16. Whenever she moved to Seattle.
I'm not worried anymore.
Or Washington or whatever the hell she is. I was told not to send not safe for work to her anymore because.
So, by the way, if you're worried about not safe for work stuff, I'm 18, so we vibing, cuz. I'm not anymore, smiley face. You've always been respectful about that. What the fuck does that... So, he's going to explain, I guess. Reads weird as if... It's almost as if he's saying that so that there's text, it's in writing, I'm 18, wink wink. But I mean, they've heard this guy talk when he was 13, so come on. My eye jellies, they seem good so far. I've only been using the basic ones so far, and tonight will be my first nighttime jelly eye.
Happened, but I was probably, I think maybe 15, 16. Whenever she moved to Seattle or Washington or whatever the hell she is, I was told not to send not safe for work to her anymore because the state and wherever she was moving to, that would be a huge no-no.
But not because you were a legal minor.
Yeah, no. Before that point, it was free game.
And so,
oh, okay. Yeah, it does seem like it was wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Yeah.
Were these things that she not just welcomed but like asked for? Was there any aspect of like ordering, so to say?
I wouldn't say that. It was very like just casual. Like I was just one of.
I don't think I'm like I tried to look at some intense stuff earlier. I think it's going to take some time to know whether it works or not in terms of reducing the fatigue, but we'll see. Feels like it's probably good so far, but we'll see over time.
One of the what's it called? It's one of the boys. Just we're chilling, we're sending each other our art and the stuff we like, and just kept going until that point, and it did stop. For a good bit, I think it stopped for a good bit on my old account because I remember her being very like thankful about it at least once, and before the screenshot that I sent you. But I guess that didn't last very long.
And if we, I have another one up here. I think this maybe you sent a picture of buttholes to Demon Mama, and this is November 27th, 2019. She said, of course, it's called Draw Pile. It's supposed to get wild. How are you? Good dude. Drawing buttholes for the first time. She says, good anatomy practice. And then you guys kind of start a conversation. So this is, you've sent pornography to an adult who is at least...
I was like 16 or 17 at that point. I would have been 17.
Which we did. So she's going to be about 29, 30 years old.
And their friendship started when he was 13. When I think I'll give a game a chance, if I start feeling good enough to look at, you know, like intensive videos or something, I'll start with videos.
There's no judgments to you. I think that if a minor sent me a not safe for work drawing, I'd probably just say, you know, don't do that anymore. But this was a pattern of stuff. How does it make you feel, you know, now that you're a bit older, somebody with that kind of age difference, exchanging?
Well, and what was going on with Fawn from the age of 13.
Kind of freewheel exchanging pornographic material with a minor.
It really fucks me up now. Because like if I was I'm thinking like of myself if I was in that position now as an adult, like talking to like a minor.
This is the guy who, and I believe it's the only guy who's going to be talked to, knew that there was a child. It's a 13-year-old they were on mic and chatting with and played Overwatch with. There's zero chance they weren't aware this is a kid.
That's fucking gross. Yeah. That fucks me up bad. Like thinking, like I don't know what the thought process that makes this.
So at this point, he's sending Demon Mama the porn drawings or whatever. He's 16 or 17, but they've known each other since he was 13, and Demon Mama's partner was sending cartoon porn to him when he was like 13.
Okay, but I can't find it. Yes. In my noggin. It just should be no. And the fact that I broke the rule that she set, and the fact that she was just fine with it and didn't reprimand me or anything, that is rather telling.
Well, I think also there being a rule that
is also telling.
Yeah, it's sort of establishing the nature of that interaction seems, you know, that in my mind, I'm going to use this word. You don't have to agree with me, but this does strike me as being at least a touch predatory. I don't know if you agree with that or not, But
yeah, I will a little agree on that.
Yeah, you were to a degree groomed. Absolutely. From the age of 13, Demon Mama and their partner or whatever, their close friend, whatever it was, were sending you stuff to get you comfortable with that stuff around them. The foreign person was showing you their dildos and saying which ones were joke ones, which ones they used, making you more and more comfortable, and ultimately you felt comfortable sending them porn, drawn porn that I think you've done yourself or whatever, at 16 or 17, but with that history makes it extra weird.
On that one, it is a little fucky in that regard.
I'm going to try to move the conversation away from this, at least for a little bit. If you want to return to it later, that's absolutely okay. But it's actually even it's a bit much even for me. I have to assume it's probably a little bit for you.
Yeah, it is a lot.
Moving into the Demon Mama community, which you ended up being integrated into, and eventually.
I get the impression, Siffy, he does sincerely seem to be a bit. His view of it seems to be a bit warped to the degree where I'd say he was in some way groomed. Nowadays, you get people saying, unless you're raped at the end, it wasn't grooming. No, I think warping a child's understanding of normality, for sexual purposes, I think doing that is enough, that it's fair to call it grooming.
Working for, by your own statements to me, you started drawing thumbnails for her, and also acting as a moderator. Can you tell me how that relationship evolved to that point?
I was brought on as a mod really, really early on, as I think just because I was a friend of hers and she needed mods. And
Could I ask a bit of at a time?
Is religion grooming? If it makes you feel comfortable doing sexual things with adults and engaging with it around adults, then yeah.
Point?
When did she start her channel? Probably, I would probably say just started her channel. I don't know the exact date, but like really extremely early on.
It's like a 2016, 2017-ish? You know,
Or we could then go into the even broader definition where it's just preparation for something, but then that's too far. Right? Don't think your definition before included the sexual aspect. We're talking about online weirdos making a kid comfortable with porn around them. I think it's implied, Whaler.
I think I'm supposing, sorry. If you want to...
And I was talking about how people said it required fucking them. We're clearly talking about fucking sex stuff, okay?
Look it up, feel free.
Yeah, I will look it up. 4 years ago. Let's see. So 2020. So about, I would say about mid 2020 to like late 2020, I started modding for her and being active in her community.
Gotcha.
And on the mod end, it's interesting. The moment that a bunch of like the political frogs all really swarmed in from all the lefty side, in quotations, the mod team kind of had its first implosion. The head mod at the time and thumbnail artist Gina kind of had a meltdown, and it was a couple things leading up to it, but the entire, I forget if she was going to delete something important or start banning mods at random because she had the power to, but we had a full lockdown of the mod chat, and we had to cycle out the thumbnail artist, the head mod, and I think we had to do like a big old talk with all of the mods, and that was like barely when she was like a 1K, 2K subscriber. Like she was really small at the time, so it was already kind of a mess at that point.
Although maybe grooming is too mild a term. Because it does imply preparation for something, whereas I think you have immediately done something very wrong. In this case.
A lot of these people carryovers from the previous Discord you were in?
A couple of them were actually. I don't think they stayed for very long. I don't think... I met Gayfesh as a mod in Demon Mama's community, so he wasn't in there. Who was?
Lots of people know who this Gayfesh is, and I don't know. I've heard the name.
All the people that I can think of have either disassociated from Demon Mama entirely, or have just kind of faded out into non-existence from doing whatever they're doing. So, as far as I can remember, I think most of the new mods that were there were either friends of hers or just new people that came in from the community that she trusted eventually.
Mm-hmm. And that seems like it's pretty common that she keeps her friends close. It's a very tight circle.
Yeah, I would say so. God, what is it? I forget if there was... I know there was constant fighting in the mod chat. It seems pretty...
Nate, I'm not going to worry too much about this guy's political perspectives.
Pretty standard for lefty political things, but there was a lot of bickering and arguing over just nonsense
But yeah, I'm not sure what he was talking about either.
Constantly in with the mods, and there was more than a few times that the new head mod that we had, and I think even Demon Mom had a couple times had to go in and argue with some of the people that she had and drop some of the people that she had. Going, oh god, actually, there's an entire what's it called thing here I forgot about. I might have to inform you about that at another time.
It's all good.
Okay,
that's something to get into potentially.
All right,
but for this, sorry, I'm drawing a blank really bad right now.
No, it's okay. I sort of took you off the road. I was just giving you room to speak. We were going over the timeline, and right around 2020, I think it is, when the start of her channel, you became a mod. You started doing moderator activities. I'm going to assume standard message removal, bans, approvals, that kind of stuff, and making thumbnails, because Demon Mama was aware of the fact that you were an artist.
So, what age is it? 2020
reasons.
So when I started doing thumbnails, actually, not only did I do the thumbnails, her Drama Mama section, I did the animated intro for that.
Like, okay, I update. This shit moving makes me feel a bit weird, but it's not like painful.
That as well. Funny story about that one. This one pisses me off as an artist. I made that in like 6 hours because she wanted it done before her next stream. So it looked like ass, and like
it makes me disoriented.
It's like, it's okay, it's an animation, yada yada, it works for her stream or whatever. But I went back and took like multiple weeks out of my time while sick to make it better and nicer, and I sent it to the editing team at the time, and it was never used.
And
so that, on a personal note, that pisses me off.
Sorry. To clarify, by sick, this is right around the time that, or after the time that you contracted Lyme disease, which is something you're still living with now.
Shit.
It's fairly serious.
I think you never get rid of Lyme disease, do you? Avril Lavigne has it.
Yeah. June of, honestly, it would have been at the end of that year because of COVID. Yeah, at the end of that year, I got COVID, and it triggered the Lyme disease that I had dormant in my body since I was a little kid. And just a brief overview of my Lyme and all that. It causes me seizures, immense chronic body pain. I contracted SIBO, which is a small bacterial overgrowth, and I've vomited 185 pounds out of my body in the past year and a half.
That's
from that.
Pretty terrible. On top of
Congratulations. I wish I could lose that much weight.
An unfortunate revelation from my shit posting on YouTube.
So that's fun. But during that time, it was just the seizures, and actually no, the vomiting was also a factor during the later end of the work relationship. So I can get into that when that's timeline wise applicable. For the timeline stuff, Demon Mama's thumbnail thing. I was only meant to do thumbnails. That's what I signed up for. That's what I was told I was going to do. I quickly learned that wasn't the case. I would be managing all of her titles, doing all the tagging for the video, making sure they get out on time. I even made all of the categories for her videos because she didn't have any, and I thought it would be useful.
So you're essentially running the channel. You had a login to her channel.
Yeah, I had a login. I had a full access to everything.
Which, for the record, none of my editors have on my channel. That's an extremely large amount of responsibility for someone who was, at the time, you were just 18, I think.
In 2020, I would have been like 16, 17.
16, 17 then. So you're a legal minor with running a YouTube channel for someone that's 13 years older than you, pushing into being 30, if not into their 30s, and not getting a lot for it. Did you guys agree on a compensation schedule of some sort, or was this just, hey?
I feel like I'm not too interested in the worker exploitation arc.
We're friends.
It sucks, I agree. If it's like you've taken on a full job's worth of work and they've set it up, I would tell someone to stop. Ausrad was going too hard for a while.
Because we're friends, you're going to do friend stuff, and maybe if you don't get it done, we're not going to be friends anymore.
We did have a payment system set up. I forget if it was, I think it was like once, whenever YouTube, the payment went out, she would send out her pay for all of her team or whatever.
Oh, okay.
I think it was once a month. On I think the 15th, whenever YouTube does its whatever payout, and she would collect all her funds and send it out. I
get paid around the 20th to the 25th for YouTube.
See the YouTube payout. I didn't know how much the Twitch was, but I know the Twitch was more because she talked about it a couple times, and I knew for a fact I could do math. I knew at least at the start. Okay, how do I preface this? At the start, it wasn't good pay, but it was understandable given her channel size.
Right. And if he had a full login, What do you mean full login? I know you can give editors access to elements of your channel, give their account permissions. He talks about having a login. Presumably he could see the estimated monthly pay as well, right?
And I can understand paying bills, et cetera, et cetetera. But
would you say it's something fair, and maybe you expected that it would increase as the channel that you were putting your labor in got bigger? Okay.
Yeah. And as
Demon Mama's thumbnails were made with child labor, unethical. But isn't child labor like a core belief of RedTube at this point?
the labor increase grew on my end with doing
I don't think that's controversial in that side of YouTube.
The tags and titles and making sure they went out every other day. At this point, this is when I got like sick, like with Lyme. So I was like I was being pumped full of antibiotics and being horribly ill every day. And I would have to wake up I remember at 10:30 and just fucking hope and pray that I could figure out a thumbnail and title in 30 minutes so I can go back to bed and be horribly sick and sleep all day again.
And to kind of hammer it home, you're still a minor at the time. Were you in school as well?
Yeah. This one's a little hard to explain. I guess I was bullied out of high school and then did online school for a bit and speed run through that. And I was essentially in college at 16.
Okay.
So that's what I did. It is an interesting mess.
If you
it all lines up. It all lines up.
If you went through, some bullying like that, did you think when you were going through that and having to leave school, did you feel like alone and isolated? And did you ever share that with Demon Mama and her sort of circle?
Oh yeah, they knew about what happened to me with those people. Those the people that did all the fucked up shit to me, like
extra vulnerable. Ooh. KFC. Completely fucked child. I don't know. He's what they'd order at KFC. Extra vulnerable. Kicked out of school edition.
To get into her community, and Demon Mama like banned them per my request, and like I told her all what happened to me with those people. Like she knows all of it.
And you're safe now, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm safe now. Like I'm all good now.
But you were working for her and putting this entire YouTube thing together for anyone listening to this, if I don't end up cutting this chunk out. When I do my own uploads and write my titles in, it takes me about anywhere from 5 to 10-ish total minutes of doing a bunch of different little things. Was that about the amount of time it probably took you per video just for the upload stuff? Not to say anything less of you did all the thumbnails and whatnot as well, correct?
Yeah. The hardest part for me were...
To be fair, I mean fucked in the head. He was bullied out of high school and they were aware of it. Completely fucked child as in like he was fucked up in the head. I don't mean like...
always the titles, because I'm not a very good written person. I'm a visual person. That's how I struggle with my words enough as it is. So having to come up with titles for videos, I have no information.
No, Demon Mama was protecting this guy. If this guy was given money, he'd be able to afford an Uber to go to a pedophile's house.
And I'd preface this as well. I never got any information about any of the videos that I was thumbnailing. Every single thumbnail I made for the most part was me just guessing what the hell was going on in those videos and like skipping through it a little bit.
I respect that. I am good with words. It's like one of my things, and titles are nightmarishly difficult for me.
You can't say that. That's a cursed sentence, because the second you say that, the scrutiny, everything you say will be under increases so as to negate any talent you had.
As well.
You can't say that sentence.
Obviously typing them in, not big, but trying to figure out a way to sell it in 100 words or less, or 100 characters or less, it can be a bit daunting. Especially if you actually, I was in the video.
Okay, talented with words. See what I mean?
If you didn't watch it, obviously that's going to be a lot harder. And if you had to guess, what was your like overly monthly compensation sort of, if you had to guess how many hours and how much money you made, what would you say those figures were?
If I remember correctly, I would do 20 to 30 thumbnails and like all the titles and all that, yada yada. And I would get at the start it was about like 200 to 250, but by the end of the year it went down to like $80.
Wait, 22 thumbs for $260? This guy's fucking shitting on me.
If I remember correctly, that was
with no work slowdown on your part.
Yeah, no work slowdown on my part.
Gotcha. And this is how many videos? I think you said you were doing 33 to 66 or some odd. I might be inflating those numbers.
A month, it would have been about like 20 to 30.
Okay.
But like overall, it would have been, I don't even know how many at this point.
So, with that in mind, obviously you watch my stream.
I want to know what sort of percentage of Demon Mama's income.
On, I was a little bit irate with.
We're talking about, he said like making categories for the videos, doing the thumbnails, like all the stuff around the upload, the titles, the description data, whatever. For 20 to 30 videos, getting paid 60, getting paid 180, 170. then getting paid 7. Sorry, what was? We probably want to see what's on the left. Whatever.
Demon Mama holding on to information about another creator being abusive to people doing essentially the exact same work that you were doing. Did you find it maybe a touch hypocritical that she?
Oh, I found it so fucking ironic for so long. It's been a joke in my fucking friend group that whenever she brings up AI art and like how to treat artists, and it's like,
oh, I feel like something is missing here. I missed. Did he explain how the compensation was figured out?
oh, what about Gloopy?
If you had to guess, I've seen your you guys had a friend put together a spreadsheet here with, I'm assuming, I think it's the last like 3-ish months of work. How much do you think you've probably been jilted or shorted here?
Overall, probably.
Stop it.
I don't even know, hundreds. That brings me to my favorite part about the work thing was she told me that financially, I think when I sent the spreadsheet into her thing and it was like, hey, the pay is deficit is like fucked here. I think I have this. I don't know if I sent you the screenshot, but I have a screenshot of her saying that the channel is just not doing well and it's struggling and et cetera, et cetera. She is trying her best, yada yada. But then I see a tweet from her at the end of the year saying that she went and got a $5,000 custom tongue split from somebody and flew out and went to her Trippie Redd concert.
Mm-hmm.
So
and
in the same
I've seen
token,
that she was bragging about that on one of her streams. I actually looked it up because you mentioned.
Okay, that's a pretty big fuck you to him. Hey, sorry, can't pay you. Channel's not doing too well. I'm gonna spend money on getting my fucking tongue split. Okay, I'd be pissed.
Tongue split. I guess it's one of her iconic features, and she sort of maybe paid for at least a bit of it by shorting a minor who was working. Well, you might have been over 18 by the time you finally split. I'm sorry, I didn't hammer that specifically home. When did you finally get to a point where you went, I've not been paid in months. I don't think I can continue on with this.
I don't know exactly. I think it would have been.
Would I kiss a tongue split girlfriend if I loved her? If Lucky Bee really wanted a tongue split, I wouldn't say you can't do that, and I'd still kiss her.
Mid 2021 to late 2021, where I was so sick, I was just like, I physically cannot do this anymore. I think it was a physical issue at that point because like I know the pay was low and shitty, but I was poor and needed the money anyway, so it's like, fuck it, I needed it. But once my physical was so ass, it just became a matter of I can't do this anymore. It's not worth even the bit of money I'm getting.
And how receptive was she to your issues about working conditions, expectations, pay, and the like?
I will say when I did tell her that I was sick, she was like, I understand, we'll try to accommodate.
Is there something she could do to her appearance that would be a deal breaker? I feel like if she got her body modified to the point where she looked exactly like me, that would be too much.
That may have only applied like 3 or 4 times.
Maybe.
Whenever if you notice in my thumbnail, like my era of thumbnails, there's ones that aren't like the little character or whatever. Those are the days that I'm so sick I physically cannot do it. Like those are the only days that it's not mine.
So you're like working yourself to the bone for, I'm seeing some of the compensation here is basically like rough.
Working yourself to the bone. We're talking about like surrounding information on videos and thumbnails. Please don't overdo it. Please don't overdo it.
$2.80 a video at the absolute worst. And at the best, in the spreadsheet you shared with me, 22 videos in a month for $260. You have it out at about $11.82 for a thumbnail, doing all of these uploads, writing titles, and basically quite literally turning her content into money because that's what gets changed over into ad revenue are these videos.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you feel oh, I'm sorry, please.
Oh, no, sorry. I was just making noise.
It's all good. Did you feel that there was
okay. Reserve Dizzy, if that context is correct, now it makes sense.
A true and honest
makes sense why this would be focused on
and open
over the grooming, perhaps for longer periods.
Line of communication to air your grievances as a basically employee of Demon Mama.
Imagine if he's dead ass like, and they stopped sending you porn. You weren't even paid, and
not really. I felt like I could talk to her, but I feel like and I did, and still kind of do feel like there was a.
What happened to all my other streamer pals? Like who? Oh, like the Sims lady and stuff like that? I presume, since I've become a drama-oid, like a full drama-oid, I imagine they are scared to come here. I would presume.
It was like a wall of just, it doesn't matter what I say at this point.
So you
Or
could always have a nice conversation with her, but criticism would be something that was not met with open arms, so to say. Maybe not necessarily hostility, but you don't.
Yeah, I didn't, negative conversations with her were not something I wanted to have, because it felt like when I did bring up the pay, it felt like I was being put, like I was wrong,
Box didn't pack up. Box was here like less than an hour ago.
And I should feel bad for it, even though every person I've talked to about it has told me I was wronged and yada yada about it. So it's still confusing for me, because I still feel like I'm in the wrong.
He's here now.
You're not. And this is I can actually step away from journalism for ethically speaking. That's wage theft. If you had an agreed upon amount, or if you were being taken advantage of and not being fully paid, you are fully justified in feeling wronged about that. Don't let anyone take that away from you at all. That's if this was kind of any other community, that would be maybe less of an important issue. But this is all leftism and workers' rights and stuff. And so I've seen Demon Mama talk. I mean, I guess to some degree about that kind of stuff. Obviously, she's adjacent to Vosh and that whole kind of crew. But do you think, as a person that was kind of within those circles, that she practices what she preaches when it comes to treating workers fairly?
I don't think so.
No, but you have to not take it seriously. Isn't that a staple of BreadTube as well? You have to not walk the walk. Because if you do, it will make Hassan look bad by comparison. Right? That's what you can't be legit, because it will make Hassan look bad to demonstrate that someone could be.
It's what makes it more interesting to me is she knew how sick I was. I was very open about like the seizures and the vomiting and all that stuff to her, and she wouldn't check in. She wouldn't, unless like I came running like, hey, I can't upload this, I'm really fucking sick. Maybe I get a response sometimes. And if I did, it would be hours later, either from her or from somebody in the editor chat saying being like, yeah, okay, I got it now.
Did I say Oxfordshire? Earlier, yes. When I was a gigging musician, when I was a young man in a band, it would have been all around Oxfordshire. Yes.
And then the video would just sit there for a couple hours.
Primarily.
It would just be me.
And
I
you
was
were
the only one there.
Still doing moderator work as well during some of this?
Yes. During the first bit of it. I know I've
at the old wheat sheaf in High Wycombe at Scorpios, for instance. 20 days ahead. Thank you very much.
Actually stopped doing mod stuff because it was just too much, and the mods were getting on my nerves and being overwhelming and obnoxious. So I just didn't want to deal with that anymore. So I just stepped aside from that.
And how did you, because obviously this is not anywhere near enough to approach living on. How were you supporting yourself to live outside of working alongside Demon Mama?
Really trying to get any kind of commission job I could. Mostly living through my family to support my meds and everything like that, because it is expensive to manage Lyme disease and treat it, let alone be in a spot where you're stable. And at that point, I didn't really know what was going on.
I'm actually curious now about what this guy's position is on. Although, okay, it doesn't matter because he was talking about there being agreed payment. Never mind. Although I don't remember hearing the agreed payment and what it was. Guitarist, Tim, yes.
On with the Lyme and what meds work. So it was a constant battle of expensive medicine and trying to find work to support that medicine and feed myself. And I will mention this as well. There were more than a few times I had to ask her for money to buy myself food because I could not afford it.
Money that she should have paid you.
Yeah, should have paid me. That you should have paid me in the first place.
Yeah. So at this time, your support structure is basically your natural family that you have. Did you have friends outside of this, or was it pretty much just kind of like your social circle is this kind of internet crew of people that are in and around Demon Mama?
Yeah, it would have been just the internet people. All of the IRL interaction I had was really shattered off from the bad group of people I interacted with before. Like I met some really good people from Demon Mama. I have some.
I feel like I treat real life like the internet, where I just talk to random people once, maybe twice if I see them again. Talk to lots and lots of random people when I'm out on walks and stuff.
Really good friends from that place, and I still do. I met my partner there. And it's awful because a part of me is like I don't want to change what happened because I technically I don't owe her anything, but like the interactions that I've had there have led me to the place where I am now with the people that I have now, and I'm thankful for the people I have now, but not for her. She sucks.
Do you think some of your negative feelings tied up around talking about this, about discussing ways that I think it would be hard pressed for me to find a person that would say you weren't wronged, both in the pseudo sexual relationship you had with her circle as a child, and also the very, very exploitative work relationship you had with her. Did you feel even ever feel that that might be
pseudo-sexual? I can't nail in on what the exact term is, but I think there's a better term. I think it's fair to drop the G-bomb on it. Groomed into accepting the relationship in which you were groomed into accepting inappropriate interaction with adults when you were a child is probably the way to go for.
Taken away from you, or that your negative feelings towards this might be that Demon Mama or people close to her might try to essentially destroy your relationships that you have in retaliation for talking about these things?
I was, and I'm still very actively worried about what this is going to do and what it would have done then, especially then with the people I knew. Because like all of my friends then were really into Demon Mama's like whole thing, and we all.
I wouldn't say so. We've still got 20 minutes to go. People are saying President Sunday is unhappy with this. I'm not really seeing. I'm saying like I find it funny that we have the grooming, and the thing he really gets fired up about is the work exploitation, the not paying what was promised, and him being a minor. To me, maybe it's me having always been self-employed that's like, yeah, welcome to fucking life about that stuff, and I'm more concerned with the sex stuff. But apart from that, that's not like a real problem with him. Like that's not a problem with this because he's just showing us an interview. Like that's not a I'm not genuinely saying what he's doing is bad. I'm just like the emphasis is a bit funny.
Eventually left for our own reasons because everyone got sick of the treatment there and how things were ran, et cetera, et cetera. But I was
leading the witness a little. Look, I suppose. I mean, he's literally saying, "Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. It's this. It's this." But look, this is not a witness in a court case, okay?
Worried about how this would affect a lot of things with people that I've known from there. And good to know that everyone that I do talk to from there all has the same consensus about this.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God. But yeah, I was worried about how this would affect things with people I knew. And the person I was actually worried about that I didn't know left a year ago at this point was Triptych. They were a big mod in Demon Mama's community. I know they were very outspoken about how they felt. And I'm glad that continued with the bullshit Demon Mama was, and her mods are probably pulling then, and probably why they dipped,
mm-hmm.
I should say.
Would you say, if there's someone else that feels this way, not like everybody has to turn their back on Demon Mama, not be her friend or anything like that, I'm not making that argument, but for anybody that feels scared of walking away from that group because they're going to like lose everything, or they have feelings that are like that they maybe couldn't quite put their hands on, do you think it's worth it to walk away if you're feeling that way? Do you feel good now that you've got this distance and this clarity on the situation?
I would definitely say so. Especially when I was working for her and my entire like existence was essentially was her. Like my friends were all associated with her. My job was her. My day-to-day was drawing her, thinking of things for her thing, yada yada yada. That I would have never have thought to do this. This would have destroyed every single opportunity I had, my source of income, all my friends. At that point I thought I was fucked if I did this.
That's very reasonable.
But now with the people I have and
I feel maybe the only thing I'd be genuinely critical of is in terms of how this is being led by Tyler, the amount of emphasis on external elements of his life it's not Demon Mama's fault. Doing anything to emphasize how bad his situation was could be popped a bit by the other side, could be pointed to as, not DM's fault, and like you're trying to make it into more of a sob story thing than it is. Sorry, that's the case, but let's look at this. My channel actually wasn't doing good. Blah 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 blah. Sob story. Maybe, I don't know. I don't even know if they have already responded. Who knows? And thank you very much for the gifts.
Everything like that. It is very scary, and I am actively shaking in my boots. But it was worth it, and I knew it was right when I felt relief telling my partner and then telling you, and knowing that this is out there or going to be, and it's just over. It's giving me like a bit of, I guess, just relief mentally and physically. Like a weight is off of my back, I guess, in a sense.
I don't want to push you to making a conclusion, but you described a situation a little while ago that would be pretty crazy. You know, you said you woke up, you know, you were sick, and your friend circle was Demon Mama, and your job was Demon Mama, and you drew her, and you talked about her, and you made things for her. To me, that sounds like almost a religious-y type thing. And I'm not going to push you, but would you say that there's an aspect of cultishness, maybe?
Okay, you know what, Whaler? Regarding your leading the witness comment, that is a bit much, maybe. That's okay, I will say at this point, Whaler, it's a bit much for me.
In and around how her circle operates and kind of in what she maybe expects from people that are immediately around her.
Totally. It is such a cult of personality. If it wasn't then when I was there, it is so bad now. Like, oh my God. I can't even imagine how bad it is now. If I was like that then, with all the people, how we all just talked about Demon Mom and oh, her politics are so good. Oh, it's all Demon Mom, all Demon Mom, all Demon Mom. I can't imagine what her chats are like now, where it's even more controlled and more like, what's it called? Withered out all of the non imps, I guess, in this case.
Oh, Sivy, I don't doubt that that's the case, and I don't disagree with your characterization of the guy's description. But when you're gonna ask the guy like that,
I would definitely say it's very culty there. I've like checked in there once or twice to see like how much stuff has changed, and it just looks very, very one-dimensional in their thinking, I guess is the way I'd put it. It's very Demon Mama oriented.
Basically, literally on that same note, with the nervousness and stuff that you were feeling, have people been trying to reach out to you, or do you feel like there's been any pressure as you've been getting ready to come forward?
A streamer's Discord is like a cult of personality for the streamer. You say that. Go into my Discord and try to say something really nice about me. That looks sincere. See what happens.
Funny you mentioned that. So about an hour ago, or a couple hours ago at this point, when I woke up, I got a friend request from Demon Mama, and I have a message from her on Twitter. I have not read this message. I've read like the first little preview bit of it, and I'm already really not looking forward to this. And I wanted to save that for this. So we're going to do that. Yippee! I'm going to struggle.
I'm ready.
Did that just say I'm GNAA? Nice auto subtitle.
If you'd like to read it now, or if you want to continue the conversation before we do it, either's fine with me.
Sure. Let's
live message read. Let's go.
I guess because it matches with that a bit. I should do that now. Oh God, what is this? Okay. Hey Glooby, I wanted to ask you something. I was informed by a friend that they saw you posting a thread about the Discord of the guy who's become dangerously obsessed with myself and my family and my friends, and I assumed it was someone impersonating you, and you've recently messaged me and we talked in a bit, very friendly. Hell, your on here last messages were helping you get that GoFundMe going. And I want to mention this GoFundMe thing. So I almost went homeless one time, and I messaged her that hey, I'm gonna go fucking homeless. I need like help. If you can send this out there in some capacity. She was like, yeah, sure. 4 or 5 days later, I get a retweet from her on it.
Nice.
That was her grand help. Which that upset me for multiple reasons. One, because I've known her for so long. Two, I've seen her like do entire charity streams for other people. But God forbid.
Dependent Siffy. Unless you're including in that description just from that person to the streamer, that person's sense of relationship to the streamer. Because, like, some people are just demented and feel that way. There are a lot of people who are predisposed to feeling that way about whoever they've decided is their streamer at that time.
Friend.
Yeah.
So I know it's like it's just upsetting that was what I got from somebody I apparently helped so much, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So the rest of this, I assumed it was someone impersonating you and recently messaged me, been friendly, GoFundMe. When I went to message you, you had blocked me on Discord. I figured I would send a message on here. What, if anything, is going on? Westside Tyler is a dangerous person who recently threatened to dox and injure or kill a friend of mine and a former artistic collaborator of yours. I don't know what's going on, but please be careful in engaging with him. I truly hope you're not going to help someone so unhinged and violent to try to hurt my partner and me. That would truly.
There's been one or two, okay. Well, here's actually okay. I think that's happened once or twice, and you guys bully them and they leave.
Hurt me to my soul. I'm hoping this is simply some kind of misunderstanding, hoping to hear back from you.
And this is the first time you're reading.
Like, straight away.
My partner and I had 3 bets. Either I was going to be guilted, or I was going to be yelled at, or I was going to be told that you were insane.
You got 2 out of 3, right?
Yep. Fuck, that's a message and a half. Holy shit. Yeah, I don't believe anything she's saying here. Gayfish is a cry bully. He whines constantly about people and then removes them, or tries to get them banned on their socials or whatever, and then wonders why actions have repercussions. You don't shit talk people. Don't expect them to reciprocate in any sort of fashion. But
I guess no. There have been normies who come in once or twice, and what'll happen? What the context when it happens is they'll get into a fight with one of you guys and then try to appeal to things I've said against you. I've seen that happen. I can't put my finger on a specific example, but I know that scenario has happened.
Gayfish is unaware of what is it? Actions having consequences. Sorry, I'm like, what is it called? My brain is like shitting itself. I'm running circles mentally around myself and struggling to talk. This is a lot.
It's okay. You relived pushing a decade.
It's just like getting into some fucking retard chat fight. I'll look over, I'll just be checking if it's TOS. I gotta keep an eye if you're TOSing, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm just one of the people. You're two monkeys with knives, and then one of you turns to me and says, "Father, I need another knife." It's like, whoa! That's your problem. You keep going. I'm I'm streaming right now.
In just about an hour, and some of it more than most people I know would be comfortable speaking on, much less to a stranger. And I really appreciate it. I don't have much to add on top of that. I was saying this to some people. I was discussing not everything, but the nature of what we were going to be talking about. And my general disposition to this was, I really hoped that you were lying 100% because it was very bad. I would have rather this not be the case. I really would have. And I'm sorry for the things that you went through. No one deserves to go through that at all. And no one deserves to have those as memories that they have to deal with. And I'm personally, like person to person, I'm very impressed by you for having the courage to come out about this.
I do really appreciate. I'm not gonna lie. For a good bit of this, even when like my girlfriend was telling me that she was like proud of me for this. I have a hard time understanding when things apply to me with these kind of things. Like when it's like fuck.
I feel like if my girlfriend told me she was proud of me for something like that, I'd appreciate it. If someone online said that, I'd tell them to kill themselves.
Up shit. This is not my first rodeo in sexual abuse.
Don't phrase it like that. What the fuck? The sexual abuse rodeo, non-consensual riding. Oh, yee-haw! Woo!
So I took it in stride, I guess, and just tried to not let it wear me down like other shit would. But eventually, I guess just seeing Fawn do that or talk like that and knowing how oblivious I was and how badly I was just trying to be their friend because I just wanted friends, it really upsets me and makes me feel really sick, I guess, as well, to my stomach, knowing that.
To me, this video is... I only need like 120 seconds. This fucking Fawn person is sending cartoon porn to someone they know is a kid. They know is like 13 or not much older. BAM! Degenerate. Freak. Unacceptable. Demon Mama's aware of them showing this kid their dildos and talking about which ones they use versus which ones they don't use. Sorry, Demon Mama. BAM! Right? That's literally enough for me. Fuck you. You're fucking weird.
I was...
predatory even, potentially.
Not only that I was used in that way, but coming back to Demon Mama messaging me now and saying this stuff, it feels so much like she's trying to save her ass. And save her partner's ass.
Do you think it's telling or strange at all that she doesn't bring up what you guys both know passed between you and wants to sort of have the conversation, even at this point, as a victim on her own end?
It is a bit strange, to say the least. I really don't like the fact that after all of this and how vocal she's been for victims of every kind of abuse, that the person that she talks and like she's brought up so much is someone she's actively done so much of it to. And whenever I think about the fact that she just brings me up on stream, and I want to mention that as well, that she really oddly, she never talked about me. Like she's not bringing me up for like a year. Like she didn't mention me at all. But relatively close to when all of this started going down, like timeline was, I randomly brought up and talked about, and I felt really uncomfortable.
Onomatopoeia for this guy's laugh. I need to hear it again. I'm thinking ner. Like HNERR. I need to hear it again.
Being brought up by her, and I think that honestly spurred me down this mental line of going to you, to be honest. I thought I was done with Demon Mama.
I need another one to come.
And she stopped talking to me and stopped interacting with me like a friend. There was a good bit where we did talk and like interact while she was a streamer, but at some point it just became transactional and like work related exclusively. And then even then, at that point, when I stopped working, I would go to her and be like, hey, we should play games. Hey, we should play games. Hey, we should play games. And I would get excuses and ignored.
Just don't even... Okay. It's for the best. You getting ignored is for the best.
It felt like as soon as I wasn't of use to her, I was...
Oh, it's not no at all. AH-HNHN.
Nothing.
One thing I wanted to say is if Demon Mama was in the room with you right now and you could speak to her directly, what would you say to her
H-E-H-N? Nah, just H-N.
About her conduct?
I would just like to know why. I don't know why, if this is a standard that she supposedly has for other creators and other people around her, I don't know why it didn't apply to her and her partners. The people she interacted with then, I don't know why.
Why do you think?
It didn't matter to her then. It just sucks. This fucking, what is it called? Demon Mama, just knowing...
I don't know, I feel like, okay. If you're friendly with me online, you're actually the person, if you do something I think is fucked, I'm most likely to go off on. Because, like, truly fucked, like if you do something with a kid, I feel like I really have to make sure I do something, because it would be wrong otherwise to make sure I'm not doing something else instead out of bias, right?
How much I know about her as a person and knowing everything, it's just very, I guess because I was living through it, it wasn't surprising then because I was living through it, but now it's just really surprising to me that after all of this, she's talked and how much she's pushed for all of these things, it all just goes back to being bullshit and being a front and behind closed doors. Once again, abusive behavior is at the front end of it, I guess. I don't know. I'm drawing a blank here. I'm like having a mental moment about all of this.
No, it's perfectly reasonable. As a matter of fact, we can go ahead and move on. I want to give you a chance to say you're Glooby. You're an adult now. You're separated from this.
I forgot that was his username. For a second, I thought it was just a very extremely bizarre insult, or maybe they said Glooby instead of Groovy.
More than likely, people are going to want to try to reach out to you. I will not provide them any direct way to do so, but if they wanted to support you via commissions, you are still an artist, or anything like that. Do you want to plug a way to try to help you out or support you, or do you have anything else?
I really want my art to come from a groomed individual.
Else that you'd like to say in closing?
I want that essence of molestation.
Let me think if there's anything I missed before I get into that. Gone over that.
The individual known as Pseudophone goes by its pronouns. I'm not gonna get fucking dinged from saying her for that, am I? I want to see this kid's art, though. Well, he's not a kid anymore. This guy's art.
Okay, I think I went over everything I wanted to. You can support me on Ko-fi. I think I have it somewhere. I can look it up. But I have a coffee if you want to support me. I don't expect or really want support if possible. That's not what I'm mentally and all that doing that for. But that's an option if you want to commission me. I do animation and 2D art. I mostly do 2D animation though.
Is there a link?
My main artistic ability.
Whatever.
I will also say this about doing the animated stuff for Demon Mama. I got underpaid for that, and I had to argue with her to get better payment for that, and that's what spurred on the whole like, I need to, what is it called? What is it? The channel is struggling, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like I had to. I did 2 animated commissions for her. She has this little imp that pops up in all of her videos that does like the like and subscribe thing. That's also my work.
I feel like if you're talking about getting underpaid, and you're like, hey, I'll take money, I got fucked. I think it's fine to take money, but I guess if you're concerned about people viewing the entire thing as motivated by money, that's an issue. It's more of an issue for the grooming claims, though, I would suggest. Then, if you're talking about getting fucked in terms of getting paid and it's screwing over your ability to pay for your healthcare or something, I kind of understand people saying, yes, please give me money, but...
And actually, this I forgot to mention. This is a big thing about the work stuff as well. For about a year and 3 months, my work was uncredited in her stuff after I left.
Oh no!
And I had to go to her DMs and be like, hey, my shit isn't being credited, and this is really upsetting me. Why hasn't this been updated? And to her credit, it did at that point be updated, but I don't think it should take a year and a half or like year and 3 months for my work that you constantly still use on every single video.
Never bothered checking out the Demon Mama drama. I would say watching this entire thing has not been worth it. That pseudo-foreign person Demon Mama's involved with sent a 13-year-old cartoon porn, and what was it, 14, and when they were 14 or 15, was on video showing them their dildos, telling this kid like which ones they actually use. Demon Mama was aware of that and there said to stop, but they didn't stop, and then Demon Mama was fine with it continuing. That's I'd say the most egregious stuff on the sexual impropriety side. And I'd say it's enough for me to go, stay away from me. And then it does appear that Demon Mama did not properly pay this individual when she used them to produce art for her channel. Appears at face value to be a legitimate grievance. This person was underpaid based on what they supposedly agreed to.
Video to be.
Am I missing anything, folks? That's it. Like, legit bad things. I don't feel like there was a great deal of value in the unedited interview being played, but whatever, it doesn't.
Credited, and especially if you're not going to pay me for the constant use of my work after the fact. I got paid like $40 and it's been used for like fucking, 4 years now?
Jeez. That. If you watch my streams, I'm
the rare ha 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 ha.
Very pro workers' rights. I've been burned. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I get it. The frustration is miserable. Thankfully, I've only been ever screwed over by people I didn't like already, so there wasn't an extra bit of sting there. But I too am a little bit brain twisted. I'm stunned by this. You seem like a very resilient person. I can only wish you the best going forward from this. And I'm
bear in mind your experience of this is it being played at 1.5 times speed.
I'm going to end the call, or not the call, the recording, and then if you want to add anything after that, you can. But if you want to say your piece, and I'll end the recording, we can cut it there and then say our goodbyes.
Sure thing. Honestly, at this point, if there's anybody else in DM Cord that has had something similar, please say something about it, because I doubt I'm alone. At this point, I'm the only person that this has happened to, or something similar. If that is the case, please
say it to someone who edits interviews, please.
Do come forward. I hope if my thing does anything and means anything, it allows other people to talk about their stuff. And for Demon Mama, you need help, and Fawn really needs help. It just sucks because I know there is a good person maybe in there. There was a little bit, but for that kind of shit, it's fucky. I don't want them to like get destroyed and dogpiled and fucking annihilated because
not dogpiled? I don't want them to get dogpiled? This account doesn't exist. Thank you, Whaler. I appreciate it. Hey. These weirdos, when I was 13, showed me sexual stuff and, like, were 20-plus-year-olds involving me in stuff they really shouldn't have. Extremely, insanely questionable. Please don't send them negative messages. Come on, man. You're not groomed that hard.
Even after all of it, I still care about what happens to them. I still care about them. Their safety and well-being is very important to me.
Oh.
So if anything, I want
KFC completely fucked child. Groomed.
it to be not overtly vicious overall towards them. It's not worth it. It's not going to bring me anything. It's not going to make me happy. It's not going to make me feel better. It's just going to stress me out and make me feel worse about the entire situation. So that being said, those fuckers need help really bad because that's fucked.
They need help. I got absolutely fucking ripped off from my work to the point that I was struggling in my life because I wasn't paid in the way that was agreed, and they groomed me as a child sexually by exposing me to inappropriate material and making that normal to me so I'd hang out with them and engage in digital sexual contact, sharing porn with them, having them talk about the dildos to me and stuff. I hope they get help. No.
I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. And yeah, I got nothing else on that front.
Fair enough. Okay, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. It was a pleasure, and I really appreciate you coming out and letting me talk about all this and giving me a space to air it all out as well.
No, absolutely. I hope the recording is perfect. I've been freaking out because this is one of the best conversations I've ever had with somebody. And thank you again.
I'm so sorry, Westside Tyler. I'm so sorry.
Very much appreciated.
Thanks again to Glooby for reaching out. To reiterate, I've confirmed Glooby's real identity through photographs of their state ID, and they are the age represented in that conversation. I am profoundly disgusted by the situation.
You don't have to go that far. You can be like, thanks for the conversation. It was great to hear from you. Hope you're happy with this or whatever, blah, blah, blah. No, this is one of the greatest conversations of all time, maybe ever.
And I believe without reservation that these issues will not self-correct without a robust response and intervention by the authorities that be. I believe Fawn's actions specifically, and Demon Mama's actions to a similarly egregious extent, violate federal law regarding transmitting pornographic materials to minors pursuant to United States Code, Title 18, Sections 1470 and 2252. And
I'd imagine so, yes. I would imagine so, yes.
47 U.S.C. Section 223D. Though local statutes may...
I'm glad when he said powers that be, he's referring to this and not YouTube admins. Thank God, okay? This guy gets a thumbs up there.
Take precedence in this case. I'm going to end this video by simply urging people in this sphere who have associated with Vosh, Demon Mama, or the other individuals mentioned in this story to question everything you know and everything you think you know about your relationships with them. There has never been an excuse for any of this, and it cannot be permitted to continue. There is no conceivable excuse I can think of that would justify these behaviors or people covering for them. At some point in the future, I'm going to be looking more deeply into Vosh's other close associates, including his major donors, notable chatters, and the rest of the deeply, deeply suspicious White Leaf Cooperative. If you know anything about these individuals, I will be discreet, professional, and receptive of any
White Leaf Cooperative? Is that related to White Nervosa?
Information you'd like to share. That's it.
Right. If anyone ever does an expose on me... Oh, Siffy. Siffy's gonna fuck me! Should have seen how he broke down debating President Sunday on this. Oh, God. Presumably it's not the full 7 hours. Okay. I don't want to push it, though. Okay. If I'm still feeling it, we'll look at this on Friday. But I'm going to peep. You told us he was a minor? Do you mean the guy we were just listening to? He was a minor at the time of his first interaction with Demon Mama and the Fawn thing. Their relationship started when he was 13. Luckily, hopefully, I don't think leading questions being asked in an interview for a YouTube video will undermine any pursuant investigation should it be picked up. However, who knows if that will happen or not. Anyway, I have one more important message before I peace out for this week. Okay? Ed Sheeran has teamed up with Heinz sauces to make Tingly Ted hot sauce. I've seen it for over a year. I've seen it around for 2 years. I finally bought the extra hot one. it's fucking shit. It's really bad. It's really, really bad. It is lemon heavy. It is the first hot sauce I've had where the dominant flavor is lemon. It ain't right. It ain't right. They say it's the ketchup of hot sauce, but there are scenarios it could be used, like maybe you put it on chicken and then bake the chicken. Maybe on fish, but like, it is the least suitable for general use hot sauce I've ever tasted. Has a bit of a zing. It's not super hot. Has a little bit of a zing. The hottest one, at least, which is what I got. Anyway, maybe we'll look at that President Sunday thing on Friday. I'm going to peace out, because even though my eyes are doing better, I've only just finally today, I've got my prescription eye drops. So I'm not gonna push it. And I'm going to do my best to rest my eyes and use these regularly as I'm meant to. And we'll see how I am on Friday at that point. Thank you so much for joining me all throughout this week. Thank you so much for the viewership, the companionship, the incredible, insane generosity, especially the gifts today. I've also got, if I do exclamation mark merch in the Twitch chat, we've also got some sexy new black metal merch in white, black, and red. If you want that, exclamation mark merch in the Twitch chat. And yeah, that's going to be all for tonight. Thank you so much. Good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the virtuous pedophile bite. Thanks, I hate Twitch.
I8 テーラーワッツイットン CH チャート X125